So we're going to be doing a lot of mental arithmetic during this race. The Ducati boys back on the grid. Aaron Slight, number 3, nearest to us. Scott Russell was last away. He's playing the psychological game. He's coming around. Here he is, Scott Russell arriving in the middle of the front row. Anthony Gobert, the little guy's over the other side. This is the final showdown. This is the race for the World Championship. Gobert, Fogarty, Russell, Corser and Slight the front row. Then a whole bunch of Kawasaki's plus Kurt McCarthy on the second row.
So then we wait for the red light to go on, then it'll go green, of course, while the birds clear out of the bridge. We wait to see now. We think they're all on slick tyres, and they're into gear now, so they're waiting for the start. So wait to see the clutch drop on the... And there it goes. Race 1 in Phillip Island is underway. If only we could see it, I think is the question.
Well, we have no control over this, Keith, at Sky Sports, we should tell you. Sounds like an excuse, I'm afraid. It sounds like it, and it's a...
And we're back at the front, and it's a Ducati man that's out in front, that's for certain. So Phillip Island is underway. Is that Carl Fogarty in the lead? It certainly looks like his style. Yes, it is. Carl Fogarty is the man that leads this race. Then it's Aaron Slight. Then it's Scott Russell. Then it looks like Pierre-Georges Bontempi on bike number 6. A brilliant start for Carl Fogarty.
Well, this is exactly what we needed, exactly what we want to see. Carl Fogarty at the front, Scott Russell with him, Aaron Slight third, the big three at the front. Russell had a big wobble on coming into that slow right-hander, and amazingly, everybody getting round, no one on the wet paint.
Well, we wait to see whether that's the truth. Still, it's Carl Fogarty. Well, our race director will get the hang of this in a minute. Fogarty pulls away. Russell is in second place. That's Gobert. 96 is Gobert. So Anthony Gobert was the 4th place Kawasaki that you saw, Julian. Oh, and it's out of shape. Gobert goes under Slight. Wow, what about that? Anthony Gobert, the man who set pole position some 2 seconds faster than the lap record round here at Phillip Island, only set a couple of weeks ago, I think, by Matt Mladen. It has been a brilliant start for Gobert, but not as brilliant as the Blackburn Flyer. Carl Fogarty leads, Russell second, Gobert third, then in 4th place is Anthony Gobert. So it's going to be Scott Russell versus Carl Fogarty, these two. Remember, if Russell wins both races and Fogarty finishes second in both races, the championship by 1 point will go to Scott Russell. 45 going through there is Matt Mladen. So Matt Mladen's right up there as well. Another Kawasaki rider. It does not bode well for Fogarty as through goes Russell. Russell nips through. We've just caught that. Wow, red rag to the bull. And now Carl Fogarty sees the man he knows he's got to beat just in front of him.
Aaron Slight still there. Has the Kawasaki got away from him? Will we see traditional Ducati power? I think so.
Well, it certainly looked like it to me. Blasted past up the hill. That's going to annoy Scott Russell like you can't believe. Well, you say traditional Ducati power. Over the last few rounds, that Kawasaki looked to me to be every bit as quick as the Ducati. But on this occasion, the Ducati seems to have pulled something a bit more out of the bag. But Scott Russell, in the most confident mood I think I've seen him all year long, really looking to run on the outside of the track, looking to run on the inside of the track. Really, Scott Russell is fighting for it. We wait for the riders to come back into picture. I can only apologise for the delay.
Well, the codicil to what you said about if Scott Russell wins both, he can be champion. As to me, Foggy pulls away. If Foggy has to beat Scott Russell once, then he can finish second to him in the second race if necessary and still be world champion. And to me, this is the old Carl Fogarty pulling away bike length by bike length.
This is a track, though, that both men know very, very well. Well, in fact, all 3 men at the front of the field. In fact, Aaron Slight, we've ignored him slightly, is in 4th place, and not a distant 4th place either. Ready to pick up the pictures if there's skittles, and Scott Russell was sideways then as we snapped out a shot. Scott Russell was most definitely on the move.
Yeah, I visited Carl up at his farmhouse after Dollington Park, and he says his position in life now, within racing, lets him...
Oh, interesting. That was a signal then, I think, for Russell. Russell, I think, was giving Gobert the go-by. So the go-show, as he's known, Gobert was given the signal, I think, by Scott Russell to have a go at reeling in the man in front, Carl Fogarty. Still, Aaron Slight is 4th. And if anything, dropping back slightly. I think Carl Fogarty is really upping his pace. He's done everything right so far. He's made sure that he took his time early on in the race. Always worries me when he looks over his shoulders, especially at a funny place like that. Another signal there from Russell. Gobert goes through this time, though. Gobert then has listened to Scott Russell. So it's Anthony Gobert, 19 years old, goes into second place on bike 96. He is the man who has replaced Terry Reimer in that place for the secondary position in the Muzzy Kawasaki camp.
Carl Fogarty, there he is, coming through the S's. Where are the two Kawasaki's? There's Gobert in the shot now. There's Scott Russell. Well, it's going to be a bit
no, it's not
obvious, Keith, if Gobert pulls over to wave him through towards the end of the race.
Sean Blow has actually brought up the subtlety of team orders a little earlier on, and I don't believe they're going to be subtle at all. I think Gobert is going to look as good as he can for as long as he can, and then he's going to just shut the throttle, and past is going to go Scott Russell for second place. As we go back, there is Crapart, there is Poland.
Shall we assume Bontempi was running in 5th place?
It's difficult to assume when we don't seem to stick with the same part of the track. Carl Fogarty, race leader, back with him. So Fogarty right in amongst the back markers. And if we can pick out, that's Mark Etherington from Pollard Motorcycles on a Kawasaki. Local man, local sponsor, and in the way. Oh, sit up, Uncle Carl. Please don't do that too often. Still no problem there for him. I think no worries is the...
local phrase, I think. Yes, slipping into the Argo again, Mr. Hewan.
Hakuna Matata. I think we can go with that, can't we?
You can.
You've not seen The Lion King then. OK, let's carry on. Fogarty
just a small diversion.
Fogarty leads. Second place is still the youngster Anthony Gobert. Third place is still Scott Russell. Interesting quote from the Kawasaki camp. Well, I'm trying to remember it exactly, but it went along the lines of, this isn't the sort of team that teammates chat in. So I think that came from Scott Russell.
It did.
And I think that just about says it all. So Terry Reimer obviously getting no sympathy whatsoever from Rob Muzzy, the team owner. And Rob Muzzy, a hard man, I must say. I remember him throwing me out of his pit earlier on in the year, for which I must remember to thank him at some stage.
Viewers, for the first time in his career, Keith Hewan was treated like a journalist. He was outraged. And I'm with him on this. As a lifelong journalist, I'm used to being thrown out of pits, of course.
Well, Scott Russell, the man who is Kawasaki's #1 rider and is going for this World Championship, is struggling here at Phillip Island. Rumoured to not be happy this week with the team or the bike. And I have it in quotes. So he's not going to be happy finishing 3rd, that's for sure. I think, though, we are right in saying that Anthony Gobert, despite the man wanting a win, is going to have to drop back behind Russell and give him second place.
And now will Gobert let Scott Russell through? He said he would. Scott Russell no doubt will be expecting him to do it, Keith. But it'd be a bit of a... well, it'll be embarrassing, won't it, for a World Champion to have to accept that sort of gift, or won't he care?
Well, I don't think you care when you're going for a World Championship. Where it becomes embarrassing, of course, if you... well, if you win a World Championship like that, I suppose it's a little bit embarrassing. I don't know the psychology of it. Scott Russell's done a lot of good this year. He's had a lot of bad luck as well, as has Carl Fogarty. Really, the pendulum between those two have swung both ways for both men during the course of the year. If you threw a coin up in the air, oh, great manoeuvre. Well, dear me, sticks
Tony
that.
White, Keith. Tony
White then. Another Australian. Well, take no prisoners, Anthony Gobert, just 19 years old, not to be trifled with. There's Brian Morrison, bike 33 on the Rumi Honda. He's had a big get-off on practice, so the Scotsman, well, good to be out in Australia, but a bit unhappy with his injuries. Scott Russell coming around to lap him as well. Gobert and Fogarty already have.
Yeah, Brian qualified on the 6th row of the grid. We're back with the leader, Carl Fogarty, #2 on the factory Ducati. Leads with, what, 2 laps left now, I think. He's in lap 20, he's on to lap 20 out of 22. So
1 3/4 laps to go, Julian. I'll work it out for you, mate, while you get your fingers and thumbs all twiddling.
If he's on to lap 20, there's 2 3/4 laps left.
OK, we'll wait and see.
Oh, the Italians, they do try so hard to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory at times. It does worry me.
Great comment, Julian. And one very apt, I have to say.
But Carl Fogarty, this is the best of Carl. He has, well, Donington must have been such a big blow to his morale, just as Albocetti and Austria were to Scott Russell's. As you said earlier, the pendulum has swung to and fro this year. It's been one of the most enthralling World Champions I can remember in any form of motorcycle sport, up there with Eckerhold and Mang in the 350s in your day.
Absolutely, thank you for that, reminding me. 350s, of course, went out with the Arc, but I remember them well.
You were quite quick on them.
Thank you for that.
That's why I was mentioning them.
9 wins apiece before we went to Phillip Island was this man who's about to start his last lap. No, he's not. He's just taken the race win. Well, I was right with my mathematics. After all, Julian Ryder, bow down and kiss my racing boots, because that man, Carl Fogarty, has taken the race win. Second place goes to Scott Russell, while Gobert wheels across the line in 3rd. team orders at Kawasaki rule. It is Scott Russell in second place, hand on hip, unhappy indeed. Little twiddle of the fingers, but believe me, he's going to poke an eyeball or two when he gets back into the pits. That I am sure about. Carl Fogarty intently looking over his shoulder. He wants to know who finished in second place. Carl Fogarty then takes an extra 3 points. That makes him 8 points now in front of second place man. That is Scott Russell. And third place in the race went to Anthony Gobert. Fourth place will have gone to Aaron Slight. So he retains third place in the championship at this point in the championship. As they line up for the second leg, the final leg of the 1994 World Superbike Championship.
Oh, what a great year it's been, Keith, before this last one goes. One of the great championships.
An unbelievable championship, I have to say. Superbike has really come to the fore in the media's eyes, in the world's eyes, and in the racers' eyes. Red light is going to go green, and a flying start from the middle of the grid there for Scott Russell. Well, Scott Russell set off as if he's got his tail alight, but it's Troy Corser that's in there. Fogarty weaving from side to side, but Fogarty's down in fifth place.
I thought he got away with Russell off the line, but he went backwards there at the start of things. Russell's off and running. Foggy's back in fifth. That looks like Gobert's white leathers in second. That is Gobert in second. The Muzzy Kawasaki's in the front. There's a Duke in third. That looks like Corser.
It is Corser in third place. Then it's Slight. Then it's Fogarty.
There's a slight gap back to Fabrizio Pirovano, leading the whole pack through. Russell, Schobert, Troy Corser.
Fogarty dropping over the top of Aaron Slight. Oh, dear me. Aaron Slight, well, lost the wheel to Carl Fogarty.
Well, Carl's been very respectful of Scott Russell all year, as indeed Scott Russell of Carl Fogarty. Aaron Slight's been the bloke that Carl has managed to be, well, dismissive of, I have to say, certainly for the second half of the year. And that, for me, Keith, puts Carl Fogarty into fourth place. Troy Corser's in front of him. Shall we start talking about a title, or is it to another 21 laps go?
Too early just yet. Kirk McCarthy's also up there, so Kirk McCarthy's right up there as well on bike 46. So Kirk McCarthy is in with a chance as well. Watch out for him, he's on a Honda.
Yeah, no axe to grind at all in the championship. He's a bright hope of Australian racing. I hate that down.
Oh,
so
down we go.
64 on the deck. Is that Adrian Morillas? That is, no, 63's Adrian Morillas. As we look at the leaders, Gobert, well, right alongside Scott Russell coming onto the straight. Well, right out wide.
Michael Bubb was the other guy down on the ground. Somebody else I don't know, so we won't harp too much on him. So Russell and Gobert doing battle at the front of this field, but it's down to Corser and Fogarty now. Corser should let Fogarty go through, that's for certain. Let's take another look at it. Well, this is one of those corners where it's very, very easy to lose it. Well, you do have to feel sorry for the man that copped the Yamaha, don't you, really?
Yeah, the Kawasaki rider was totally innocent. The first thing he knew was when he was knocked sideways.
Nice hair, though.
Good haircut. Now then, is Fogarty still behind? He is. That's McCarthy looking up the inside of Carl
Well,
Fogarty
that's the worry, isn't it? McCarthy, of course, can be right there. And McCarthy, well, he's not got an axe to grind, but he certainly wants to do well in the race. That's all he's interested in. McCarthy, he's not working for anybody other than Honda. Well, it's a problem all round. There's McCarthy on bike 46. But who is putting Carl Fogarty under pressure for that fourth place at the moment?
It's Aaron Slight, Keith, who is still in the picture. 69 James Whittam, who retired from the first leg. Grass tracking there by the look of it, but looks like he stayed on it.
Yeah, not a happy man, James Whittam. He was the man who held up Fogarty for pole position, or at least Carl alleges he held him up for pole position. Oh, Foggy goes third. Foggy underneath Corser. Now, hopefully, Corser, who didn't really give him that place, will hold off and make himself the widest old Ducati there ever was in fourth place and let Fogarty get on with these two. But Carl Fogarty now is right in contention in third place. He's right there with the two Kawasaki men in front of him. Carl Fogarty is doing it all right.
Well, we saw this in reverse almost in the first place, with Carl in front by a short distance and the two Kawasaki's trying to tow up to him. They go side by side down the straight, and to me, Keith, I think you're right. Carl Fogarty is dragging right up to them. The big question is, should he get involved in the shoving match with Gobert?
Well, no, I don't think so. It's a very short answer to that. Fogarty has to be very careful about what he gets involved in.
There's the two Hondas coming to the back of your picture as Carl pulls to the left. Is he going for a slipstream maneuver? I don't think he is. Is he going to go this time? It's just like last lap. He looks, but he doesn't execute the move.
I think he just sits there. He's comfortable with that. I don't think he's got a problem with it at all. He might be sizing himself up just to see where he can make a pass if he has to, but I don't think he's going to.
No need to take any risks at all. Carl Fogarty can... Oh, Gobert goes through.
Gobert through there. Huh.
Well,
what happened there?
Carl took a very good look over his shoulder there, and that's Troy Corso on the Ducati there in front of Kirk McCarthy. I misidentified him. I apologise. So the man who's supposed to be helping Carl up the front, well, he's injured. We have to, of course, remember that. We shouldn't expect too much of a bloke who had a really heavy tumble, a high side at Siberia, I believe, charmingly named corner, in qualifying, and has got a very, very sore right leg. Now, Carl, he's on the tail of Scott Russell, and again, that Kawasaki is moving about an awful lot at the rear end. Tyres already?
Well, maybe it is. Maybe Dunlops just aren't working quite as well as the Michelins here. It's only a knife's edge, of course, but what worries me is fourth-place man Aaron Slight now has got the hurry up, as indeed he did about this point in the first race as well. He's coming up to challenge, I think, these three, if we're not careful.
That will alter the scenario. And Russell, well, I'm going to say he pulls aside there for a moment. I thought he had a problem. If we look at James Whittam, who's pulled into the pits, Gobert slides out onto the straight again. But what happened to Scott Russell there? He seemed to almost stop in the middle of the corner.
Not happy, maybe the bike is just cutting out very slightly. We're not going to know until after the race, but Scott Russell has big troubles. Well, he had big troubles before he started this race. It was a mountain to climb, and now, what can I say?
Well, we've gone almost speechless in the commentary box. Anthony Gobert leads, Carl Fogarty is second, Scott Russell is third, and in the first race here this morning, once Carl Fogarty went past the Kawasaki Russell, he did a disappearing act, he was off into the middle distance, and the world champ didn't see him again. Now, has Russell got some sort of machinery problem or not? Well, all we can see is he's sticking with Carl all right here, as Gobert leads. Russell's very good on the brakes here, but not good enough to take Carl this time. You know, just I agree with you. I was really worried about how well Scott Russell would go here, using the evidence of Mugello, the San Marino round. On one of Carl Fogarty's favourite tracks, Scott Russell and the Kawasaki were dominant. Only a mechanical problem really stopped Scott Russell from winning the second race as well as the first.
Well, I think there was a lot of trouble with Ducati. Everyone slammed Ducati at Donington Park for being a bit indecisive over team orders and such like. They didn't seem to be too decisive about team orders here at Phillip Island, but what they have been decisive about is giving the man Carl Fogarty in third place at the moment the right tackle for the job. That bike has been fast today, there's no doubt about that.
Well, Scott Russell's rediscovered whatever he lost earlier on, hasn't he? Really back up with Anthony Gobert. I keep thinking it's not a silly name, it's his name. I must stop hesitating about it. Carl Fogarty, well, has he decided to? No, he's
right there.
Dear. All sorts of things go through your mind at times like this. Dreadful scenarios come to the front of your mind.
Gobert still leads on bike 96 and he's away, so Gobert is away. Russell is second on bike one, and Fogarty getting well and truly hold up. Oh dear me, Fogarty being pushed terrifically there. Fogarty absolutely pushed out to the dirt. Oh, unbelievable.
Shades of Japan a year ago when lapping a back marker, he got a bit frustrated, missed him on one corner, then high-sided on the second corner, and that was a lad called Alistair Maxwell, an Aussie privateer on a Kawasaki, who I thought was about to unwittingly have a big say in the outcome of this year's World Superbike Championship. That, Keith, gave me a coronary arrest. I'm sure of it. Call me a doctor.
Carl Fogarty lives to fight this World Championship right to the bitter end, and no doubt will be, oh dear me, a man, he run into the back of him there. Carl Fogarty had heart attacks if he looked in a mirror, if he had one.
You see, that's twice in a lap and a half that the worst case scenario has reared its ugly head. Here he is. It's still in third place, still on course for the world title, because the man in front of him is Scott Russell, who he has an 8-point advantage over. He will only lose 2 points out of that advantage if they stay in this situation they are, and Carl Fogarty will be world champion by the margin of 6 points. Even my mental arithmetic's up to that. There's the leader Gobert through. Scott Russell, well, out of sight of his young teammate now, quite honestly. The teenager is running away. Scott Russell, number 1, plate on the front of his Muzzy Kawasaki for the last time in at least 12 months, we firmly believe. There's the Fogarty pit. The very attractive blonde lady is Mrs. Carl Fogarty. Michaela, strongest supporter of Carl, of course. She's a real strong character, and isn't she a fun character and all?
Yeah, she loves Sky Sports too.
I'm glad to hear it.
Must be your charm, Julian.
Now, I know it is the last race of the season. Ewan's being revoltingly pleasant too.
Back markers then looming yet again, a whole gaggle of back markers. Remember, Anthony Gobert, the youngster, is well and truly away at the front. Second place is number 1, Scott Russell. Then in third place is the world champion-elect for 1994, Carl Fogarty. Just a short distance to go now for him. Less than a third of a race still left, but the back markers are a worry.
Remind you that Anthony Gobert is off the front of this race. Scott Russell and Carl Fogarty, the main men of the past 2 years of World Superbike racing. Really, the past 2 seasons. What's he doing there?
Well, Russell certainly indicating to his pit crew. I could tell you what I thought that signal was, but we're a family broadcasting agency and we wouldn't really want to show exactly what he was doing. It could have been asking his teammate to slow down. Somehow I doubt that.
So do I, somehow, because it's going to be no use. If Gobert slows down enough for Scott Russell to go past him, Carl Fogarty's going to go straight past him as well, surely. Well, on that bit of conjecture, we'll think about that one for a moment. Remind you that when you see number 96...
Oh, Russell looking over his... Oh, he said take it.
Yeah.
Take it, it's yours. The World Championship belongs to Carl Fogarty. Scott Russell has conceded. If he had a towel, he'd have thrown it in. Scott Russell then lets Carl Fogarty go through in the second place. His hand signals, his body language, his demeanour says it all. Scott Russell has given up the number 1 plate to Carl Fogarty. If there was any doubt in that, you would have seen it. But Scott Russell gives up.
Well, it's realisation that he couldn't win it as long as Carl Fogarty kept going, I believe, Keith. Is it a gentlemanly thing to do? I think so.
Well, I think it's more akin to snooker, isn't it? You just don't get up out your chair at the end of the frame.
That's exactly the analogy I was searching for.
Scott Russell, well, he's stuck his cue in the rack, had enough, and he's going to finish third in this race by the look of it. But Carl Fogarty is going to be world champion. That, to me, barring a mechanical failure, and now we've got everything crossed in here.
I think the wiring just crossed, judging by what the lights did.
Carl Fogarty crosses the line just the one more time. We are in the closing stages of this 22-lap race. Is it going to be Carl Fogarty's day? It looks like it could be. I don't want to say it's definitely going to be yet and give him some commentator's blight, because Foggy now in second place is well on his way to the World Championship.
Where is Foggy? We're looking at the leader, Anthony Gobert, and he's got an enormous lead now over Carl Fogarty. It's Carl Fogarty and Scott Russell we're really interested in, but not on it. Scott Russell has got a problem. He has got a problem. Steve Parrish was right.
Well, has he got a problem, or has he thrown the towel in? I said it once. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Well, he looked at the rear tyre last time. It's
an endurance style change. They're going to put a new rear wheel in for him.
Well, that seems like a rather remarkable thing to be doing in the last few laps of the race. Well, get the chain on there, Gary. Come on, chap.
Oh, you wouldn't get a job at Le Mans like that, dear boy. But these guys, of course, this is something you never do in a 45-minute race.
Can't imagine what they're doing, really can't.
No.
It seems like a complete waste of time, done for the camera as well. The sponsors will be happy anyway. So out goes teammate to this man, your race leader, Anthony Gobert, but Scott Russell now, well, completely out of contention. Scott Russell, well, he's miles behind now. 1.25 laps left for Carl Fogarty.
What a shame that Scott Russell won't actually be on the rostrum for the last race of the year. I find that a bit of a disappointment. I would have thought a couple of laps changing a tyre. I'm with you, Keith. I don't understand at all what they thought they were up to there. Not a clue. Unless it was actually slow puncturing, of course, in which case, fair enough, you have to.
Well, no, you park it and you watch. It's a waste of time going back out.
Fair play. Even if he picks up a couple of points, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't affect him for second place in the championship. He's not going to beat Fogarty, but of course I suppose you could take the view that if Fogarty breaks down or packs up or something like that, at least he's out there circulating to pick up the pieces, because then he can win.
That's the only justification for the action. I think we've got there in the end. Carl Fogarty, number 2 on his bike. Next year, surely it's going to be number 1. He has a back marker in his way, number 24. That's one of the Italian privateers, I think. Carl goes past him straight away. That's my job normally, isn't it?
That's Luca Ruggieri, so you were right on the Ducati. And again, if you look far enough down your list, Julian, you will find him.
I'll remember that.
A lot of very slow men out in Australia. One or two quick ones.
It's surprising seeing our impression of Australian racing is that it's full of demons, you know, it's waiting to get onto Grand Prix bikes and works bikes and come and whop us. But there's a couple of guys, this lad McCarthy, doing very well in his first ride on the factory RC45, for instance. But let's talk about this man. Surely, barring acts of God, he's going to be a world champion again, and he's going to be the Superbike world champion. There's Slick, there's Michaela. It's got to be, surely.
Well, these mechanics will play when the riders are out, won't they? So, Anthony Bass, he's got the best job of the day, I reckon.
I can't contradict you there. Here's the leader, Gobert.
Over the line then to start his last lap. He's asking there, what do I do? Anthony Gobert is asking, what do I do? The actual fact of the matter is, man, you win the race.
Yeah, and I don't suppose he can believe his luck either. And he reckons his little brother's better than him, by the way. He's a better one in the family coming along. But that's nice to see a new winner. But what we are looking for is bike number 2, the big red Ducati 916 in second place. We're looking for Carl Fogarty. There's a lot of back markers coming through. Come on, Carl, we know you're there. And we truly believe that you're going to be World Superbike champion. And what a great fillip for British motorcycling.
Half a lap to go then for Gobert, Anthony Gobert, your race leader. But all eyes are focused on the second place man, Carl Fogarty. He has a short distance to go to be world champion in 1994. And we can't wait to see him.
We can't. We're going to watch the winner first. But look at it, young Gobert. He's going to cross the line a good few seconds in front of Carl Fogarty. But when that big red Ducati number 2 comes across the line, when number 2 comes across the line, we will have...
Here he is.
We will have a new world champion in just a couple of corners' time.
Carl Fogarty then, absolutely on the pipe, ridden 2 immaculate races up and over the hill. This man, Anthony Gobert, 19 years old, is going to take the race win. He comes round the last corner on the track now. Going over the line, it's going to be Anthony Gobert taking the race win. Wonderful win for him, but all eyes look back down the track to Carl Fogarty. The 1994 world champion has yet to cross the line. It's going to be Carl Fogarty, new world champion. Scott Russell built back to second place. Michaela could hardly believe it.
I don't think he can believe it. It's the intensity of Carl Fogarty's reaction. It's not the standing on the foot peg stuff of a Merkel or a Schwantz. It's the intensity. It's like Rainey's title in Checo. Carl slumps over the tank. Slick gets to hug Michele. You're right, it is the best job to have today. The Italians are happy. We're happy.
Let's go back to the studio. Sean Blowers, are you ready for it? He'll be there in a moment, Uncle Sean.
Quick, champagne's up.
It'll all be gone, don't you worry.
And of course there are some Brits there with a Union Jack.
To Carl. To Carl.
Well done, Carl.
For the 11th time this year, Carl Fogarty takes the Union Jack round a race circuit, and for the first time he takes it round as World Superbike champion. The tension before this meeting, Keith, we were feeling it here in the commentary box in the studio. Out there, I think the most relaxed man was Carl Fogarty, I think.
If the world's media don't take note of the talent of Carl Fogarty, shame on them, because this man from Blackburn has been superb all year long. He thought he was going to get it last year. Luck was not on his side. This year, he decided to dispense with luck and just go for it. Carl Fogarty deserves the World Superbike Championship, and he now has it. It's in his hand. Now it's just time to celebrate for the winter.
Absolutely, and let's not forget he missed 2 races. The second race of the season he missed with a broken wrist. He came back from a bad injury and 2 races in which he couldn't score points, yet he beat the ultra consistent Scott Russell and the ultra reliable Kawasaki for his first Superbike world title. British motorcycling has waited. There's Scott Russell. waving goodbye to his #1 plate.
Well, you've got to take your hat off to Scott Russell.
Yes.
He's been a superb professional all year long. He's been a great rider, but in the end, it was Carl Fogarty, and that's a nice touch there.
It is.
That is Gary. He is the mechanic to Scott Russell, giving Anthony Bass there in the middle of our picture. Well, he doesn't know how to hug anybody else, does he really? Anthony's looking for everybody in pit lane.
And it's still the intense reaction from Carl Fogarty. Ah, yes, hasn't... Oh, look at that, world champion Carl Fogarty. That's Mrs. World Champion,
And that's
Chris Herring.
Chris Herring, well...
Get him off.
Trust a journalist to get in there as well. So Chris Herring then, the man we spoke to earlier on the phone, he's actually very good friends with Fogarty family.
Oh, I'd never have guessed that. Ah, British motorcycling as well. There's a double world champion, Doug Poland, #23, coming past Carl, shakes hands. Thanks, Doug. He's always been a very pleasant man, Doug Poland, very good sportsman. Bontempi shakes hands. Here's the winner, Gobert. But I keep saying it, we have waited so long for a world champion like Carl Fogarty in British motorcycling. Barry Sheen, who you talked to earlier, his championships were back in the late 70s. That's how long it is ago since British motorcycling, British motorcyclists had somebody like Carl Fogarty to look up to and to encourage and bring on the young riders, give them a role model in this country, and we know we need that here.
So there's Troy Corsa. He's well... Again, congratulations all round for the Ducati team from Troy Corsa. There's Carl Fogarty. Well, they're going to pat him to death.
Get the lid off, Carl. There's a man there with a microphone wants to talk to you. Oh, actually, Barry Sheen's in there with a microphone.
Oh, this is a worry, isn't it?
It is.
Carl Fogarty then, tears in his eyes.
That's what it looked like on the slowdown lap, didn't it?
So tears in the eyes for Carl Fogarty. He's waited 2 years to grab this.
The Italian greeting from Ducati's engine man I saw there. The little guy in the shades. He's looking for the wife, I think, rather than Barry. Yeah, there's Michaela. Wonderful pictures. Absolutely wonderful.
Well, I think our cameraman certainly got in close enough there, didn't he, really? It's, it'll have an X-ray by the time it goes out.
Carl heading for the rostrum now. We're not going to get a word with him until they've done the rostrum celebrations, I feel.
He has got so used to winning, it is such a disappointment. There he is, what a great camera. So we're looking up at Simon Crafar, is bike #5. #1 there is, of course, Carl Fogarty. And if we look back, 66 was Matt Mladen. So Matt Mladen on the second row of the grid. You remember he had a short flirtation with the Reve Kawasaki team in Indonesia. That went down like a lead balloon. Nothing worked out at all between that team and he and that team. Red flag is on the line. They are now looking down to the side of the bikes. So along comes Gobert, the pole man, a little late rolling up to the start of the grid. But Gobert finally makes it there. A few heart flutters, I think, from the Muzzy Kawasaki team. And we are just seconds away from the start of the first race here at Phillip Island. It is Gobert, Corsa, Fogarty and John Reynolds on the Reve Kawasaki. That is your front row, and it's going to be down to who gets a quick start. They go green. Ooh. And look at Gobert, what a flyer from him, and Reynolds too.
And Mladen through from the second row, Keith, number 66.
Freddie Spencer there too, but Pierre-Georges Bontempi getting a flyer up the inside, but it's Carl Fogarty that leads superbly. Carl Fogarty gets a great start here as they're all pushed right out onto the dirt, and underneath goes Gobert there, Gobert straight under Fogarty, then it's Simon Crafar in third place.
Crafar ran wide but held the third place in the long left hand. This is a corner called Siberia. Wonderful that Gobert still leads, Foggy still second, fourth place Corsa. Anthony Gobert, this course suits his style. He has the bike set up loose, he slides it everywhere.
Okay, I'll chuck in one equation then for this already. It's early on so far. Gobert gets a flyer, of course. Well preempted there, Jules, thank you for that. I'll get the punchlines on your jokes later on too.
I don't think Gobert cares.
No, I don't think he does, but we also know that Dunlop do give problems. They have done during this year. It's a harsh thing to say. Poor old Dunlop has struggled a bit during the course of the year. They got it going towards the end of it, but we'll see whether Gobert's tyres hang on in there. Corsa through in the third then.
Corsa, he's the man who looks the smoothest and most controlled. That riding style of his is so neat.
It is as well. And he takes a different line. A little bit of trouble on the front end there for Corsa. Look at Fogarty. Just there, he squeezes the power in the middle of those two turns. He really does grab a big handful. Front wheel lifts momentarily. And he's right on the tail of Gobert. Look at this battle. 6 riders then, all within a second of each other. Matt Balanin's the man in 6th place, still on bike 66. But what a great race to open the day with.
It's always worth staying up to see a race at Phillip Island, especially the last World Superbike race of the year.
So much to prove, and it looked like Aaron Slide down the inside. Look at that, Slide is in front of Corsa. That's what he wants, because he needs those points. Remember, Corsa has an 8-point advantage in the World Championship at the moment for 2nd place. Look at Slide and Corsa side by side, as they've been so many times this year. Slide is 3rd on bike 3. 4th now is Corsa, and I wouldn't have expected him to be edged out like that.
Only if you think back to Indonesia, Keith, I suppose, and that's 3 of the 8 points got back if they stay in those positions.
Aaron Slight's going to make a move again on a minute on dog. Is he going to get up the inside of Carl Fogarty? He's sideways on at the brakes, and he does it. What a superb move from Slidey. Well, someone must have told him, you're going to get fired, mate, if you don't get your finger out. So Carl Fogarty is zapped by Aaron Slight now on bike 3 in 2nd place. Great ride from Aaron Slight, and he now hunts down Anthony Gobert. Look at the way Gobert pulls through that S section there.
Frightening. Look at that.
See if those tyres stick. Well, they're looking like they're with him at the minute.
Yeah, but he likes the bike sliding, he says so, especially in fast corners. That's a great shot of a really fast corner. Look at that there. You saw the bike just drifting around that left-hander. He loves that corner.
Gobert still leads. Aaron Slight right behind him, but looking for a way. Aaron Slight right there. Corsa has got past Fogarty. Corsa is in front of Fogarty still. Look at that. Carl Fogarty goes back to 4th place. He is not going to like that.
Definitely. I wonder if he has a problem like in Indonesia. I don't think so. He can't see any problem with him or the bike, but the guys in front of him have got... And again, Carl looks over his shoulder at Crayfar. Is he losing ground, Keith? Have we got another minor problem?
Oh dear me. We had a major problem there. That looked like Massimo Ottobre, I think, the Italian Ducati rider.
That's the man.
Gobert really sliding, but I know someone is sliding around in their seat. Back in the studio, Neil Hodgson, biting your nails, chap.
I'm very, very nervous. I can't believe it. He's got the lead. Slight's bike is
in the lead.
So fast.
Well, we'll get you here in the commentary box, Neil. You spotted that before we
So
sliding in front. What a ride!
As if that makes a change, by the way. Anyway.
Oh, you are the golden boy after all.
That bike, thank you very much. That bike is so quick. It's like it's got a turbocharger on it. I can't believe it. They must have been doing some work in Japan on the thing.
Yeah, you missed that though. Carl Fogarty out of the seat then, Neil. Wake up in there, please.
Yeah, he was out of the seat. Did I mention that?
No.
Oh, right, sorry.
Thank you very much, Neil. We'll be back to you in a little while. So then, oh, look at this one. It's swapping Steve Parrish. Making you nervous as well.
That'll be... get a big check, Neil, if you're going out with this lot, as we watch Carl Fogarty in... Well, going backwards, because Crayfar has now snuck in front of Carl Fogarty on the left-hander.
Oh, look at this. Gobert going back for a challenge. Gobert then slingshot past, doesn't he? Aaron Slight, he got a good drive then, and it's Gobert on the brakes past Aaron Slight. Well, there's not a lot we can say about this race. Look at Fogarty as well. Fogarty and Corsa. Well, this is beautiful stuff. Oh, dear me. That has got to be one of the biggest get-offs I've ever seen there. Dearie me. Who was that? Unbelievable.
I think it was Michael Bubb.
Well, Michael Bubb, you are a very lucky man to still be able to even... Let's take another look at this. This was incredible. I don't know what happened on his motorcycle, but he just... Well, it looked like his front brake seized up. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Oh, and he was so lucky the thing bounced over him.
So, Michael Bubb then, the Australian Kawasaki rider, absolutely head over heels, not in love with Phillip Island.
Dear me, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Now then, talking of which, I've never seen much like this either.
Corsa's in 2nd place, Corsa's in 2nd place, Slider's gone back to 3rd, Foggy is 4th, Crayfar is 5th, and any one of these 5 can win it.
Dear me, perm any 3 from 5 for the rostrum. This is one of the best races we've seen all year. And I've got to say it, kid, I've got to say it, this track produces such good racing.
Yeah, you usually do.
Think back, Hodgson mentioned it earlier, the Grand Prix here 5 years ago.
I wonder where you got it from.
Now then, look at Crayfar going at Foggy there.
Here we go again then, Gobert and Fogarty and a Corsa around the outside of Gobert. Brilliant manoeuvre there from Gobert. Corsa. Lost it completely, Ewan. Look at this. Crayfar's in front of Fogarty as well. Crayfar goes fourth, but it's Causa leading. Number 11, Troy Causa. From 17, Anthony Gobert. Then it's 3, Aaron Slight. Then it's Crayfar in fourth, and Fogarty drops back to fifth. Well, I never.
I don't think I ever either, Keith. It's Gobert attacks Causa around the outside. He's got no tyres left. Surely he's on the inside for the right-hander. He's done it.
Oh, dear me. Nearly did do it as well, because Causa was nearly green.
Oh. There's some brave men out there. You can tell it's the last race of the season, can't you? There's a certain lack of imagination going on in some places.
Yeah, it's all getting a bit push and shove, isn't it, at the moment? So it's going to be real interesting towards the closing stage of this race, and we've got a long way to go yet.
And
oh, look at the drive that Gobert gets there. No problem for his Dunlop tyres there, because Gobert got beautiful big drive out onto this straight. But look at the speed of the Pro Moto Ducati. Causa's bike looks fast, doesn't it? But Gobert again round the outside. He did that a lap or two earlier, and it's a brave looking move, and his bike didn't look that fast to me down that straight.
It didn't, but Anthony told me at the start of the season how much he likes that left-hander onto the start-finish at Phillip Island. And Simon Crayfar in fourth place now looking to...
Oh, Gobert out on the white line, Julian.
Again.
Sorry.
Again. He's been out there every lap. Now Crayfar can do his Honda teammate a big favour now by pushing number 11 Causa back a place. There he goes. Just what Slight needs.
Right on cue, but is he going to be able to hold it? They touch. Oh, dearie me.
We've got 10 laps more of it to do. As this back marker's in the way, this is dodgy. This is very dodgy. I would not want to be those guys. I think that's Michael Brenton, another local man. Yeah, it is. Fortunately, they get past him fairly easily, Keith.
54, Philip Harper was in there as well. Oh, 81 decides to go for a bit of a cruise. That's Miss Emiliano Marchini. So Marchini on the Kawasaki. Well, in about a millisecond, he's going to get run into. Oh, dear me. Causa and Slight absolutely side by side and touching. Anthony Gobert, bike 17, still leads from 3, Aaron Slight. Then it's Troy Causa. Then it is Simon Crayfar. And then in 5th place, our own Carl Fogarty. And look at this little man. 44 in there is Tony White. And then I think it's Ed Miller as well, another Australian. So Australians in amongst all this bunch. Oh,
look at that!
Gobert brilliantly, absolutely stitched those boys. And John Phelan was the other Australian in amongst them. And dear me, Anthony Gobert, far from getting a problem with the back markers, he just left the back markers to be in the way of the rest. That is the significant part of this race that I think gives Anthony Gobert just that little bit extra edge. Oh, Aaron Slight sideways now as well.
Dear me, that was Lawson-esque, that deal with the back markers.
No, he hasn't kicked anybody.
Oh, sorry about that. Absolutely, that left-hander onto the start-finish. It has been sliding there, power sliding.
Look at Causa. Causa then looking for a way by, gets it. Causa goes through. Causa goes second. Slight goes back to third. Well, that wasn't what Aaron Slight wanted. Oh, and Slidey looks right back at him. Oh, dear me. That was as close to an accident as you're ever going to have.
Shades of Assen.
Causa then runs so close to Aaron Slight, really, and that would have been 50-50 in my view.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, it was Crayfar and Causa. Crayfar and... Causa and Slight, was it an Assen? I can't remember. Anyway, it was a double punch up there when Causa tailgate.
You'll be able to fix it in the end. And sideways goes Aaron Slight. Oh, dearie me, Aaron Slight goes through. Causa goes back to third. Well, Aaron Slight is on a mission.
Another back marker coming up. Will Gobert deal in the same medicine he gave that posse earlier on? I think so. Aaron Slight, Keith, I wouldn't want to be the guy who tries to stay in front of him in this mood.
Oh, Gobert even bigger than on the brakes. Great big darkie as he slid down into that right-hander. Incredible stuff.
And great pictures. We're getting a real superbike action here. Now, how's Slighty? Look at that thing.
I was going to say, it's bending in the middle.
There's a hinge in that Honda.
So, Aaron Slight, what is he on?
A mission, Keith. I think now he's got 3 or 4 bike legs down the start-finish straight. Oh, Gobert's gone. Gobert's blown it.
Gobert's bike has stopped. Anthony Gobert is out. Aaron Slight leads. Causa is second. Crayfar third. Fogarty fourth. But all in one great big go, something has happened to Anthony Gobert's Kawasaki. The Muzzy Kawasaki, well, it's not actually gone bang. but whatever it was quick. Is it a chain?
No, it's on
It's
the
a tyre. The
sprocket.
tyre looks like it's rippling to me.
It does. It looks like it's loose on the rim. I'm not surprised the treatment he's been giving it.
That looks like a tyre has broken up on Anthony Gobert, but that was from our monitors. We will find out in the break exactly what's happened. As Causa looks for a way around the outside of Aaron Slight. Anthony Gobert is not going to win this race. What a shame.
Shades of last year when a very similar thing happened to Scott Russell on the Moto Kawasaki.
Yeah, the annoying thing about this is Steve Parrish had Aaron Slight in the top 3 as well. It's not annoying, of course, because Aaron Slight is more than justified for being there, but we didn't actually predict him for being there.
One consolation, if Parrish opens his wallet, Lord Luton will come out riding Shergar.
The old ones are the best ones, Julian, but in Steve's case, that is very valid.
Yes, give an old joke we got home for Christmas. Now, another back marker. There's so many slow guys out there.
David Emerson is the next slow guy on another Australian Kawasaki, but they catch him in the right place, really. So David Emerson on bike 65 goes back. Slidey 1:35.636, and that compares with 35.511 Gobert's pole time. So really, Aaron Slight is right on the go.
It's not inside.
Causa in front.
Record.
Causa in front. Causa takes it. So Causa now in front of Slight. Well, these guys are going at it hammer and tong, because these two men, we remind you once again, are the two going for the number 2 plate. And remember, 8 points separate them. Troy Causa holds on to it at the moment then, but Slidey, as you have said, Jules, is right there. It's sideways on down into this right-hander, the Gobert corner, I call it from now on. And Causa has time to look over his shoulder very quickly at Aaron Slight. But Causa looks so good here. Oh, Slidey out of the seat for the 3rd time on that corner as they come round to the start and finish straight now. Troy Causa still leads. Aaron Slight in 2nd place. 3rd is number 5. That's Simon Crafar. Last lap then. That looked like yes, it is Luciari pulling in there as Aaron Slight looks at the inside line.
Oh, Luciari had a big get up in warm-up. He's even worse form than he's been for most of the season. Aaron looks at the inside. He's close enough. He's close enough.
Oh, dear me. He's close enough, but only if he runs on the dirt.
He'll do it.
The crowd are on their toes here at the moment. This is dramatic indeed. Aaron Slight really is battling for this. Well, all we need now is a back marker in the equation.
All we know is heart failure. Well, this will be a 13-point points gap.
Here it is.
Here he goes.
Is it going to be on the brakes? Up the inside. Yes! He's practiced it every lap there. Slight goes through.
Causa goes to the inside.
But he's on the outside when it gets to the left-hander at the bottom of the hill here. But he's going to go around the outside, or is he? This is the last lap, I remind you. Yes. Half a lap left to go. Aaron Slight leads.
Sideways.
Aaron Slight leads. Causa in 2nd place. 3rd is Crafar, but he's bumping back. Whoa, look at this. Unbelievable.
That is phenomenal racing, which is the closest stuff we've seen all season. As Causa finally got the best of him. Aaron tucks in.
That was incredible. He's going to have to do it on the break somewhere, Aaron Slight, but I think now that Troy Causa has done that, he's back in front, and this run into the final line is where Causa is at his very, very best. And there is no place for Aaron Slight, sideways though he may be, to force his way by. We're on to the start and finish straight now. It's going to be Troy Causa that takes the race win from Aaron Slight in 2nd place. Yes, he's not going to drag him by the line. Causa wins. Slight in 2nd place. And in 3rd will be Simon Crafar. Causa takes it then. What a great win for him, and what a terrible disappointment for Aaron Slight. Yeah. And it shows.
It does. It's very unusual you get that sort of gesture from Aaron Slight. He tried everything and more. Standing 1-foot wheelie from Troy Causa. But Aaron sort of thumbs up, you see, to Simon Crafar immediately, because obviously Simon Crafar didn't get in his way, hung back, let Aaron have a go. But that was one of the finest last laps you'll see in any form of motorcycle racing. Wonderful. There's Foggy coming into sight. He finished 4th. And really, we were allowed to see there a magnificent dice for 2nd in the championship. The champ congratulates the winner of this race. That is Troy Causa, the 24-year-old Australian. That is his 4th win of the season. The red flag moves. We've got a red light, we've got a green light, here we go, and we're off, and Foggy makes a brilliant break, Foggy makes a great break, he looks like he's going to get to the first corner first. Who's tucked in behind him? It looks like it's Luciari and Causa.
All systems normal then. Carl Fogarty's through into the lead as he was in race 1, through that lovely right-hander, but look at that man, Gobert round the outside of Causa. Again, Gobert brilliantly gets round the outside of Causa. Unbelievable stuff.
And again, Crayfar in there on number 5. Oh, somebody sitting up. Aaron Slight sitting up back in 6th place. He's still there. Well,
oh, look at Gobert. Gobert's through, though, at the front again, as in race 1. Gobert's gone through, but is Foggy going to fight back? He's sideways, he's wide. Oh, dear me. Well, right out on the berm. Look at that. Oh, and he's back. Well, we're looking for Causa's bike at Carl Fogarty. Oh, now we're looking at Crayfar. He's gone through on Causa as well. Brilliant pictures.
Aaron Slight next along, so don't forget the 13-point gap there, second in the championship. We'll come back to that later as Gobert again stretches away. After the first race, the Aussie and the Kiwi said, oh, we let Anthony go and burn his tyres up. We knew he'd do it. Crayfar in 3rd.
Reynolds right there as well, Julian. So watch out for bike 33. That's Reynolds. We're looking there at
Jochen Schmidt.
Jochen Schmidt, that was, yes, definitely Jochen Schmidt.
Reynolds makes a move on Corsa. John Reynolds really going for it.
Look at that lot behind, though. What a mess.
Oh, dear. Here's Gobert.
Gobert with a lead. Now, is his tyre going to stay together this time? But this is Corsa that we're on board with, and that Duke looked pretty quick to me.
It did to me as well, Keith. Fogarty still in second, number 1. Gobert escaping as he did. Reynolds into 3rd over the nose of Crayfar. Here comes Corso as well. Oh, great to see John Reynolds after not the easiest of debut seasons on the Kawasaki looking so good. Now, Gobert, Keith, has got a different tyre on from the first race.
No.
They had a choice of 2. And they used one come back in the first race, so they're going to use the other one in this race. Well, will JR's tyre last? I heard from the Revo pit where they thought he'd used the tyre that Gobert used in the first place.
Oh, Gobert again sideways on. Look at John Reynolds right there harassing Carl Fogarty all the way. Well, 2 Kawasaki's on the rostrum perhaps in this race.
Who knows?
2 Hondas on the race, a rostrum a last race.
As Gobert is pulling out a lead, but we know he's inclined to shoot those tyres to pieces very quickly.
Gobert still leads. 17 is Gobert.
So quick around that left hand.
He is very, very fast on that run into the start and finish line, but loses it just a little bit on one other part of the track. Causa pulls outside of the slipstream of John Reynolds and goes through. Causa goes 3rd. John Reynolds edged out, but he's not. Well, John Reynolds edged right out, yeah. Out on the berm, I think we can say.
Definitely.
Look at this, Fogarty closing in on Gobert. This is the part of the track where Gobert is a little slower than, of course, Carl Fogarty, but then when we get out to the start and finish area, it's Gobert that's got the drive.
There was a lovely quote last year, Keith, and a fan came up to him after the race and said, great ride, Foggy, pity you're a bloody Tom, which I think he'd like... I think he probably wouldn't mind that again. Look at Corsa and Reynolds right with him.
I was going to say, Reynolds is right there, still 33. John Reynolds in 4th place at the moment, but he's right up with them. Well, I wonder whether the pace has slowed off just a little bit, and therefore we've got Corsa and Reynolds right back on it.
I think it's the normal Gobert thing, Keith. He's already sliding. He's hard to pass. He really is difficult to pass. Think about Austria, think about the States. It takes a long time to get past this kid, and they're forming up behind him.
That's because he's got great potential on the brakes. The bike's not perhaps the fastest one out there on the track, but this man really does know how to make himself ever so wide into a turn.
You're not kidding.
Oh, and then he sits up and it makes Carl Fogarty sit up, make me sit up. Julian Ryder's jumped up. Still leading is the man in green. Anthony Gobert, fastest lap, yes, to Troy Causa. Long way off the fastest lap set in qualifying still, but not a bad pace for 1/3 distance or thereabouts.
Yeah, nearly half a second off the lap record, Keith. So it's you can see it's overcast. It's quite cool. It's better than the first leg. But as we go down the start-finish, let's watch the comparative performance of that Kawasaki and the 2 Ducatis.
Fogarty hits the front. Carl Fogarty goes through. Well, he slipstreamed this man Gobert and went straight by. So Anthony Gobert now goes to 2nd. And really, watch Carl Fogarty build this pace at the front. I think we're going to see Corsa make a force through in a moment.
He's going to have to.
He's going to have to. Look at John Reynolds right there, still in 4th place on bike 33. Then it's Aaron Slight. Then it is the roomy Honda of Simon Crayfar. What a superb race again here at Phillip Island.
Look at Gobert letting it run hard into that one, going up the inside. Carl's going to jam it across his nose. No, he's not. Gobert forces through. Carl leans on him.
Wow, formation there stuck together. Reynolds is through, is he? No, he's not. I thought that was Reynolds.
For a moment he was. Course around the outside, and Gobert very forceful on the brakes.
Out comes Carl Fogarty in the slipstream. Fogarty again.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's Gobert on the brakes. Oh,
Corsa.
Look at Corsa. Oh, Fogarty goes up the inside. What a great ride there.
Beautiful.
Well, that was absolutely unbelievable.
Reynolds
has gone through. Reynolds is in 3rd place. Deary me, look at Slight, he's right there as well. Foggy's got to get away from this lot. Bontempi's in 9th, Luciari's dropped to 10th, Parovino, Keeley, well, they've dropped to 11th and 12th, and Brian Morrison gets on the leaderboard. So Brian Morrison, I got told off by his wife, Jill. Foggy with his feet off the footrest.
Not happy
about that. I was about to say I got told off by Brian Morrison's wife, Jill, for not giving him too much of a mention when he finished 10th last time out.
Disgrace. It was a good ride, that, Jill. and you, Brian. I want to live. I want to go to Scotland again. Yeah, I've got to go
off your knees, Ryder, will you? Look at this, Gobert in front. Fogarty still in second place. Causa third. Reynolds in fourth. Let's have a look at his feet coming off the footrest.
Oh,
that
missed
looked
the
like...
gear?
Was that a wrong gear?
Looked like it.
Oh, he wasn't happy, but he's back with it now. An angry Fogarty is a race-winning Fogarty.
Tests have shown, Keith, every time.
But look at this lot. Everyone is so close to each other. Look at the back markers. Up sits Gobert. Gobert then out of the seat.
Carl in second still, Causa in third, Slight in fourth, Quayfar right there in fifth. Back markers hoving into sight. We know what Gobert does.
Absolutely. Takes no prisoners.
He just pretends they're not there and rides over the bit of tarmac they're on.
Can't wait. Oh, look at this. This could be an opportunity for a major problem.
Yes, I think Aaron Slight is sizing up, I think, an act of lunacy.
Right, we're into number 89 first time round. That's Ed Miller on the Kawasaki.
Number 51 in there as well.
Well, what's going to happen to Michael Brenton? Of course, 51 is Brenton. Oh, he's going to hold up Carl Fogarty. Oh, dear me. Major traffic jam for Carl Fogarty. He is not going to be happy. Causa's going to go around the outside.
Perfect, Troy.
Oh, dear me. So Troy Causa gets the benefit of the back markers. So does Anthony Gobert. Carl Fogarty is going to be fighting mad now.
Oh, dear.
Let's watch the sparks fly now.
Oh, dear. That Carl really got the nasty end of the stick there. Here he goes. No, Troy chops across him. Oh, and those back markers really dealt Carl a very nasty hand. It's more of them. Gobert's done it again. He's got a batch of them between himself.
Well, that's
Causa
John
goes
Phelan.
through.
Audio Presculi's in amongst them as well. Oh, dear me, this is disgusting. Yeah, man pulling wheelies and showing off in the middle of there, but he's a back marker that's been lapped in half the race distance.
And Aaron Slight is climbing all over Carl Fogarty on corners now. Now then, that thing is sliding. See, it's chopping away there. You're right, Causa's getting a move on. Foggy's a few bike lengths behind him. Slight right on top of Foggy, bringing Quayfar with him.
Yeah, Carl Fogarty certainly seems to be having the odd problem with that bike. It just doesn't seem to be set up anything like how he would want it. It is squirming around on the track. Not so much tyres, probably more down to setup than anything. And he's got Aaron Slight on the inside of him. Is Slighty go through? Yes, he is. Slighty grabs third. So Aaron Slight gets third place now.
I do believe they're closing Anthony Gobert down fraction by fraction.
Is Aaron Slight going through?
Yes.
Yes, he does, in exactly the same classic Aaron Slight place.
Oh.
There he is, showing our camera a wheel, I think is the technical term.
Troy did say that Aaron shut the door on him quite aggressively in the first
and I
race a couple of times.
Causa didn't when he repassed it.
Exactly. So Troy said, well, speaking deleted, I thought he's not going to win it, was the quote.
And he was right. Look at Carl Fogarty looking around the outside now, Causa.
And the neat, totally calm and collected style of Troy Causa in second place on Ducati number 11, pursues Anthony Gobert, number 17 on the Kawasaki, as Fogarty number 1 looks at the inside of Aaron Slight. He's
and
got this.
Foggy goes third.
It's between the main men, the two Aussies, the Kiwi and the Brit, who've dominated the championship.
Look at Fogarty side by side with Carl. Carl Fogarty then looked to me like he was going to make that move, but he was edged out by Causa. Still Gobert leads.
And still the Ducatis fight amongst themselves as they drag up to the back end of what is surely now an almost grip-free Kawasaki on certain sections of the track. Aaron Slight, number 3 on the Honda. He's still in with a shout, a big shout.
Well, I tell you, Causa's bike looks fast.
It does, doesn't it? And he's very, very good at the right hand at the end. Carl pops out again onto the last lap. Has he got in this time?
Yes,
he's made it stick. Now he's got to find a way past that very wide Kawasaki. Has he got too wide? No, he hasn't. He's held it. It's a left-hander next.
Superb. Is Carl Fogarty going to win this race in the dying stages? We have 3/4 of a lap left to go. Gobert leads. Fogarty second. Causa third. Slight is in fourth place. Quayfar is fifth. And it's all down to whether Carl Fogarty can make it past Gobert. I can't wait. It's going to be very soon because Carl's lining himself up for it. Is he going to be able to get round Gobert here? He's looking for a way past. That's where Causa made it before. Up the inside, maybe. Oh, Causa right there in third. That's Fogarty, but Gobert coming down to the right-hander.
Foggy holds Causa off. There's no way he can get past Foggy there. Both of them twitch as they power out into the long left. Oh, well, he's got more grip than I thought. Look how much tighter Foggy goes. Both bikes chopping away at the back end.
Onto the last bend then. Onto the last bend. It's Gobert. Gobert, is he going to hold it?
Looks like it. This Foggy's got a lot of steam left.
And here it is. It's going to be Gobert that wins it from Carl Fogarty in second place. Third was Troy Corso, and in fourth place was Aaron Slight. But what a great race. Anthony Gobert deserved everything he gets today, because that, after his disappointment of race 1, was a superb way to finish his season for Muzzy Kawasaki.
The big question is, what will Troy Corso do? If he wins this first race, everything's over. He's won the championship. But will he, as Steve Parrish suggested, ride for the points? That's number 2 we're talking about on the red Ducati in the middle of your picture. Foggy, he is back on the inside, number 1, behind number 45 Corso. Number 45 Edwards, I beg your pardon. We're looking at Colin Edwards on pole position, number 45, red light green. Great start from the American.
Colin Edwards got an absolute flyer there, Julian, straight off the line on bike 45. So Colin Edwards, the seagulls are all scattering to get out of the way. Aaron Slight comes through though. It's Slight, and look at that, straight through. Corso cut across the front of the lot of them, and will that be the last they see of him and the World Championship? That's the question.
Well, I think he's just answered Steve Parrish's question, hasn't he? Never mind going for points, but Colin Edwards, number 45, the pole to the right up there, then it's Slight. Next along is number 4. We've forgotten who that is almost, haven't we?
Yeah,
that's Anthony Gobert.
Anthony Gobert on the Kawasaki, we're going to see.
And then it's Foggy.
Well, Carl Fogarty going through, but it's Aaron Slight we've got to keep an eye on at the moment, because if Corso is in so much of a problem, we're going to see what happens now. And through has gone Edwards. Edwards leads. Edwards then leads. Straight through again. Colin Edwards wants this race. Second place is Corso. Will he take his time or not?
Foggy up to 4th. He's gone past Gobert. Yamaha leads from Ducati, then the 2 Hondas.
So Edwards over the line then. Colin Edwards completes lap 1. He's on lap 2. Corso is in second place on bike 2. Third is Aaron Slight on bike 3 with a bit of a wiggle there. Anthony Gobert on bike 4 is in 4th place. And then the number 1 man, Carl Fogarty, is back in 5th at the moment.
Colin Edwards, have you seen him look better?
Well, the fact of the matter is, Corso doesn't mind Colin Edwards being in front.
That's very true.
Because Colin Edwards isn't in the hunt for a World Championship. And look at Gobert. Oh, we're looking at Edwards. He is superb, but Gobert is all over Aaron Slight, and he's through. He's gone through. Gobert then is in front of Aaron Slight. Well, that's just worst case scenario for Slighty.
Edwards, Corso, Gobert, Slight we know about. Foggy a bit back in 5th in front of Goddard on the Suzuki. That's a great ride.
Yeah, he says it last week, Eastern Creek on the Suzuki Grand Prix bike. This week,
there he goes.
Gobert goes through. Gobert then, well, we saw him last year. He looked brilliant in that very same place. I remember when he nipped past Carl Fogarty in the same place. This year, though, it's Troy Corso. He doesn't care if they're world champions or, well, almost world champions.
And talking of almost world champions, John Kosinski back in 9th, the 4th man who could win the title. Looks like he's really the man I thought would show here, Keith, but he's way back off the pace.
Well, he's going to be the
there
last
he is, just in the background.
The championship then, isn't he? So now it is up to Aaron Slight to get past Corso, and I reckon that's on. But this is the battle for the world championship between Troy Corso on bike 2 and Aaron Slight on bike 3.
And for my money, Corso looks uncomfortable. That's not what we normally say about the guy.
I'd look uncomfortable in this position.
I mean, he's not as smooth as normal, Keith. Here goes Aaron. Does he go to the inside? He does. No.
Oh, that was close indeed. So Troy Corso had 272 kilometres an hour on the laser. Which bike that actually refers to, we don't know for sure just yet. But that is the laser gun along the front straight.
There's Edwards.
Edwards still leading and pulling away slightly as Gobert now getting back in the way of Corso. Maybe Corso has decided that the best way to win this championship is by being in front and out of the way of the 2 men either side of him at the moment. Oh, and he was in hot, too hot indeed. Corso then down the hill, hot on the brakes, out wide. Slight has gone through. It was a mistake by Troy Corso.
And I wonder what will happen, Keith, next year when, as this now seems to be fact, certainly reported in international press last week, Scott Russell rides one next year.
Well, great for Superbikes to get Scott Russell back. Can't wait. And if that Yamaha is as good as it's looking at the moment, you can expect good old Mr. Russell to be going for a second World Championship. And that Honda looks so fast.
Wow!
He just drove straight past. Poor old Anthony Gobert. Wow. Anthony Gobert must have thought he got it in reverse. So there it is, the difference between Edwards and Slight. expect that to change, because I think now that Aaron Slighter's got a bit of a run here. Well, we'll have to wait and see how the bike's sitting with it. Yeah, that is typical Go Show, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's so fast into there, and he drops it over the nose of Aaron Slight. Well, Aaron Slack Slight, as he's going to be known after that one, because really, he was caught well and truly napping by Anthony Gobert. Ever the opportunist, he just rode down the hill on the brakes and round the outside of Aaron Slight. Aaron Slight, that would be like a slap in the face for him.
Absolutely. These two guys don't like each other very much, so there's a little bit of spice in this one.
A little bit of spice. Yeah, as if there wasn't any before.
Well, you know, extra spice, Keith. Double, extra. Troy, while those two in second and third are getting tangled up, of course, Troy Corser is taking the opportunity to get right back on terms with them. Not that he was that far adrift in the first place.
Over the line goes Colin Edwards then. And this time Aaron Slight not close enough. Or is he, with the power of the Honda to go past Gobert? Yes, he is. I expect Gobert to bite straight back on the brakes. No room. So, Slight then. Oh, I hate it when it's like this, because Gobert, he will look for any opportunity, runs out wide. Does he get him down the hill? We're going to find out in a minute.
Yeah, he certainly took the chance to slag Aaron Slight off.
It's getting very close again. Watch for Gobert on the brakes. Watch how Gobert will be sideways any minute now as he tips it in. Yes, Gobert sideways, and he's not got it this time. Sit up, Aaron. Oh, who could that be?
That could be Mr. Goddard.
That could be Goddard, yes, absolutely. So, Aaron Slight goes back into second place.
He didn't know that was coming, did he?
Will he be able to catch Colin Edwards?
That's the question. It's only a second the gap. The last time check we had a fraction over a second. There's the visual check. I think they're catching him. I think that's under a second. This World War IV here for second and third place between two chaps. Those are you quite keen to tell you they don't like.
Oh, brilliant stuff from Gobert.
He goes too wide.
He ran wide. That was Corser. He ran wide there as well. So, Gobert, well, proof, if ever we needed it, that he's quite determined.
I think the coolest head in that lot is Aaron Slight, don't you? I think Anthony Gobert is...
I'll go for Corser with the coolest head, because I think Corser sitting there in fourth place at the moment means, I think from my calculations at the moment, he's pretty much got this championship sewn if he carries where he is.
Well, let me do the sums, Keith.
Okay,
let me do the sums.
I'll carry on commentary.
So, no, we're a 19-point difference between them in the second race, if they stayed where they are.
And yes, well, that could be just a reliability problem then for Corser. Anyway, we'll get back with this race and work out the sums in a moment or two. Colin Edwards still leads by an increased margin, I make it at the moment. Then it's Aaron Slight on bike 3. Then Anthony Gobert back after a long layoff, and Indy back with a bang. He's in third place. Fourth, well, he might be in second place in a minute. Oh, and Corser is behind them. He's in fourth place. Of course, Anthony Gobert doesn't mince his words. Very much in the mould of Carl Fogarty when it comes to things like that.
Here we go again.
Yeah, straight down the inside. Well, Aaron, if you're going to leave a bit of a gap, expect the man Gobert to go straight through. And he certainly likes that bit of the track. The Kawasaki works for him there. He's got it sitting down, he's got it sideways, he's got the rear end spinning, and he's got Aaron Slight's attention.
And here we go again, round the long sweeping left hand of Anthony Gobert says he likes so much. And here we go with Honda power.
Straight by the Kawasaki. Back on the charge. Aaron Slight. Well, Colin Edwards, he must be quite pleased these two are playing games like this behind him, because as they keep getting in each other's way, look at that, 273 kilometres an hour now over the start-finish line. And again, Gobert runs to the outside, but there was no room for the last two laps that he tried this one on. Is he going to get it on down that straight? No. Frightening stuff.
I'm at about 170 miles an hour.
Not the speed to get off on. And here we go, Gobert again, surely. And Aaron Slight, yeah, he holds the line nice and tight. And I think Aaron Slight's got that one about weighed up now from Gobert. We're looking at Colin Edwards a second. Not a foot wrong so far in this race, but he might just have to up his pace in a moment or two, because Slight is closing in. Our graphic says it, Aaron Slight says it, and he's aided and abetted by that Kawasaki of Anthony Gobert.
Suitably sort of criminal connotations, that I like it. Gobert up the inside this time.
Oh, scary stuff, because that's so very close. He really is getting in there tight. Right, Anthony Gobert smelling Colin Edwards' aftershave, no doubt. is homing in on Edwards. Edwards has got Gobert right in his wheel tracks now. This is going to be a hell of a fight. Where's Aaron Slight? Where's Aaron Slight gone? Slidey has dropped off the pace. We don't know why. We're looking for Aaron Slight in third place. Well, the man who can win the... Here it is. We're looking back now. Slight is the man. Oh, he lost it. He lost the front end. Aaron Slight is out. He lost the front end, as we saw from Edwards' bike, looking back at Gobert on bike 4. But Aaron Slight is out of the hunt for the World Championship. So Corsa, at the moment, is surely on for this championship now, Julian. I know you're going to do the working out.
I will do... Corsa is now in third place. There he is, just coming over the horizon. Third place gives him 16 points to add to the 26 he had, 42. Look, I'll do some sums in a minute, Keith. We need to know where Kaczynski and Foggy are. 5th and 8th last time we saw them. Never mind, let's have a look at 1st and 2nd.
Well, Gobert's going to go for the win now. And Edwards, well, if ever he didn't know, if ever he thought he was going to get a fight, it's now on, because Gobert's right with him. And you can bet your life Gobert really wants to win here in front of home fans. And closing in is the Kawasaki of Anthony Gobert. It's scary, isn't it?
It is. Well, Aaron Slight now cannot win the World Championship, as you said, Keith, when he crashed. He's 26 points behind, only 25 he could get in the second race. Aaron Slight out of the reckoning for the World Championship in the first round of the Aussie World Superbike Championship. Round.
You've got to feel very, very sorry for Aaron Slight to go out at a championship like this. But these two men, well, Gobert might be going to Grand Prix, but Edwards, he is going to be with Yamaha and fighting with Gobert now. Has Gobert got up the inside? Yes, he has. Gobert goes through. The crowd have gone absolutely Australian bananas all the way round here at the moment. You can hear them screaming.
Love it.
Oh, and listen to them talking and screaming. Can you hear the Yamaha? Colin Edwards' Yamaha is on the rev limit. Oh, who's that? Is that German? No, it's Crafar. Is that Crafar?
No, that's... I think...
Oh, looked like it was about to go pop.
I think
anyway,
you're right.
Back at
Igor
the front.
German.
Maybe Igor German. We'll work that one out later. Back with Edwards. Back on Gobert's case. Now then, Troy Corsa. I'm sure that Ducati, and especially his technicians, this is the worst kind of race. Hey, it's up the inside goes Colin Edwards, and I just made Julian leap right out of his seat. He wasn't looking. So the Yamaha goes through. Dear me, Colin Edwards made no mistake there, did he? Race leader, it says, absolutely.
Decisively, I feel. I'm looking forward to the last lap, Keith.
So
It's going to be ex-certificate. It really is. Colin Edwards, as I was saying earlier, half Australian. His dad's an Aussie, and he's been certainly glad. There he goes again.
Up the inside again, but watch for the Kawasaki. Oh, Gobert is so brave. One thing that kid doesn't lack is bravery.
Absolutely. That is such a fast corner. 170 miles an hour you're approaching that right-hander at.
Yeah.
Going down, what, a couple of gears, Keith?
On the outside of Colin Edwards with the Kawasaki weaving and bucking. That's not bad.
Kawasaki leads Yamaha.
Oh, and here we go. The run onto the start and finish straight. We're on board again with Colin Edwards, and he closes, and gets a big suction from the slipstream of Kawasaki straight into Gobert this time, and Gobert can't bite back. Well, we are on lap 20 of 22 laps. We said it was going to go to the wire. We didn't know who with. Edwards and Gobert are giving us a show.
Yeah, it's the Go Show in second place, and the revitalised Colin Edwards in the lead. Number 45 on the Yamaha. He's had another tough season. He's had a broken collarbone. Didn't start off too auspiciously, but he's worked his way up from...
Looking at the outside again, Julian.
Every lap, he's so quick there, but once he's done it to a guy, they know he's coming and seem to push him out. Wait for the last lap there, that's going to be fun.
He'll go underneath.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
That'll be a scary manoeuvre.
Yeah, as push comes to shove, and I feel it might do literally.
Oh, both these motorbikes are so much on the move. Aaron Slight must be watching this and thinking to himself, well, I didn't get anywhere near out of shape with these two, and I lost the front end and crashed out of the race. So Aaron Slight, we remind you, if you've just switched on and joined us, he's out of the race, and Gobert leads, and the back marker jumps out of the way. Aaron Slight is out, and Gobert leads with Colin Edwards right on his case. Still, we have Corsa if he... well, if we see him again, he should be in third place, and he is winning the World Championship. If he finishes in third, he will take the championship. Wow, we're on the last lap of race 1, round 12, in the Superbike World Championship, and what a dogfight. Now, Gobert leads Edwards.
This is where Edwards went wide last time. Was he rehearsing? He's right with Gobert. I don't think anybody's going to overtake Gobert in that corner. He's so quick through there, pulls a few bike lengths out of him going into the left-hander.
Well, Edwards, unless he's been practicing something I haven't seen, Gobert has got this pretty much covered. It's only going to be a mistake, in my view, from Gobert that is going to give it to Edwards.
He's close, though. He's close.
He's going to have to try very hard. Is he going to go for it up the inside?
Oh, blocked.
I was going to say, hell of a place if he did it.
Yes. Keith didn't believe that was going to happen. Edwards was looking seriously, though he really was.
Maybe he's in for a ran.
Yes. Here we go into the downhill. Nasty right-hander. Edwards right on the rear tyre of the Kawasaki.
And the crowd are going bonkers all the way round here. Just listen to the Australians. They are going absolutely nuts.
What a great day for Aussie bike racing.
Gobert.
Looks like you said, Keith, looks like Gobert's got it.
He's got it covered through the left-hander. The crowd are on their feet. Anthony Gobert comes to the line to win race 1. Edwards in second place. So Gobert does his job absolutely perfectly well. Let's look back for Corsa. Yes, the new world champion is Troy Corsa, crossing the line in front of Fogarty, the exiting world champion. But it is Carl Fogarty who leads over the line. A big bunch, a big battle, but that lost him his world championship. Gobert is a race winner.
Burnout time.
Corsa is the world championship winner. And Fogarty, he must be sad, but he's done his best this year.
Well, what can you say about Troy Corsa? World champion this year. Here he is. He was second in the world title last year in his first year in World Superbikes. The year before that, a year in America, he won the American Championship. The year before that, he won the Australian Championship. Now, that is a hell of a pedigree, Keith.
Yeah, watch out, Grand Prix. Troy Corsa's coming.
Keeley says congratulations.
Yeah, well, he's a popular lad, Troy Corsa, still only 24 years old. He's the oldest, youngest man I've ever come across. If that makes any sense to you?
What you're saying is he hasn't half got a clever head on those shoulders.
He really has. Oh,
that's David Tardozzi.
Team manager then climbing on board. Troy Corsa then, 369 points, unassailable. Slightly still in second place, 1 point in front of Kaczynski, and Carl Fogarty on 321. Second race, Carl Fogarty can finish in second place in the World Championship. He'd settled on a number 2 plate, I know that. And beating Aaron Sight and John Kaczynski would also give him a fair amount of pleasure if he does it in the race, let alone in the championship. So look how close it all is. Edwards is still in 5th place on 232. He can't improve upon that position. But second, third and 4th place are still in. Well, that wasn't Tardozzi actually.
Oh, it's no, Tardozzi back in the pitch. That'll be his signal from the half around the track, won't it? But let's mention David Tardozzi, who Troy Corsa himself pays tribute to when you have a conversation with him. Tardozzi has managed him brilliantly. The two have struck up a brilliant working relationship, and you ask Troy, he'll tell you that his team have helped him enormously this year, and the main man in that team is David Tardozzi.
Red light, green, and they're away already. That's a flyer from Corsa. Wow, good call, Steve Parrott back in the studio. Incredible stuff then. Straight away, it's Corsa that leads. Watch for Fogarty, he's going to weave through. No, he gets meleeed right in there. And it's Gobert comes through in a second place and Slight in third. This is going to be one ding dong. Oh, Corsa got a problem there. I saw him. He looked like he was fiddling with the front end of that bike and as he went into the turn. Did you see that, Julie?
It looked like he got tangled up with something. He threw something off it. What, I don't think it was a tear-off.
Maybe it was a seagull.
Something like that. Gobert leads, Corsa second. Slight through to second. Slight through to second as Edwards is making progress rapidly from his bad start.
Oh, just look at this. Oh, pushing and shoving going on everywhere. Oh, that is Corsa in the middle of that lot. Corsa is in all sorts of trouble in the middle of that lot. Surely he's got a problem with the bike.
There goes Gobert. Slight. Edwards is through to third. Now, have we lost... There's a power horse Ducati in the middle of the pack, right behind Carl Fogarty.
What you're trying to tell us is Corsa going backwards? Is he pulling out? We'll have to wait and see. Look for number 2, Troy Corsa. Is he still out there fighting, or is he about to leave us? Can't see him.
There's definitely a set of power horse leathers along.
Well, doesn't matter now. He, of course, is the world champion, so it doesn't matter. But just consider if Aaron Slight had won race 1 and Causa had had the problems he's having in this race, because that could have given it to the New Zealander. Colin Edwards in 3rd place, but look at the battle for 4th. It is number 1, Carl Fogarty. Carl Fogarty's in front of that man, Goddard. But where has Hodgson gone? He's gone behind Goddard now. So Hodgson, whatever happened to him, he's been taken up, he's been swamped basically. He's about to be swamped by Keeley, then John Reynolds, then Simon Crafar, then Pier Giorgio Bontempi. Well, I wouldn't want to be in amongst that lot.
And then Frankie Keeley's there, Kaczynski's on the back of that pack as well. Reynolds making progress, good progress.
Number 7 is Keeley, number 10 is Reynolds behind him. Then it's Crafar. Oh, but it's Fogarty that leads Goddard. Both those men working for their pay today, by the look of that. Oh,
look at the queue.
Yes, the queue. Carl Fogarty's at the front of it. And you can hear the exclamations from the crowd when they get near our camera microphones. They are as amazed as we are.
They are, they're cheering for number 51 there, Peter Goddard. Here's England's favourite, Carl Fogarty. Number 1 Honda, next along number 9 Ducati Hodgson, then Keeley number 7.
Over the line to start lap 8. Gobert leads Aaron Slight.
For how much longer?
Yeah, Aaron Slight takes, well, not a serious look, I don't believe, at that point. But certainly every lap he gets a lot closer. Oh, Goddard is challenging. That Suzuki, though, no match down the straight. By the look at that Honda Power, we'll have a look at that, though. Maybe I was wrong. Out the slipstream. Well, the Suzuki not lacking pace. And Keeley's there as well. So Goddard goes through to 4th place. Fogarty drops to 5th place. In 6th place is bike number 7, Pier Francesco Keeley. We're looking at those 3.
Do you get the impression that Peter Goddard knows this place well? He came round that long left-hander onto the start-finish beautifully. Yeah,
but so did Carl Fogarty. The Suzuki was really just doing a slipstream manoeuvre. Carl Fogarty should be able to return the compliment next lap. We'll wait and see. Gobert, Slight, Fogarty, Goddard. Who we got missing then?
No,
Gobert and Slight.
Colin Edwards is...
What happened to Edwards?
He's still there, Keith. I think we have a mistake on the captioning. That's Edwards going through in front of the group.
Well, I thought for a moment we may have lost Colin Edwards in 3rd place, the man who challenged Gobert all the way in race 1. The man who's challenging Gobert all the way in race 2 is Aaron Slight.
There's Troy.
Troy Causa into pit lane then. So Troy Causa, well, pretty relaxed, no doubt about it. I'm sure he must be pretty relieved that he ends the season perfectly okay as world champion and with no damage afterwards. Over the line we go with Goddard. Reynolds there as well on that. Well, just look at this. It's going to be a shootout. Keeley is in 4th place at the moment. 5th is 51, Peter Goddard. 6th is Carl Fogarty. 7th is number 10, John Reynolds.
Wonderful stuff. And Peter Goddard, we don't often see a local boy mixing it with the World Championship guys, except in Japan.
I was going to say, what happened when Gobert arrived here a couple of years ago?
We don't often see it, Keith. We don't often see it.
Yeah, but when we do, it's spectacular.
Absolutely. And Goddard doing a brilliant job.
Oh, Carl Fogarty doing the brakes, looking for a way past Goddard. We're having a good long look at that Suzuki. We haven't seen much of it this year. Reynolds and McCarthy have campaigned them all year long. Now they've got Goddard in the equation.
And isn't that impressive that the Aussie lads have made their Suzuki into a race winner? Well, Australian Championship
Reynolds
winner.
is right there as well. Look, Reynolds on bike number 10. He's only a couple of bike lengths behind Goddard. So I wouldn't say that the Aussies have got it going any better at the moment. I don't think there's any proof of that. And besides, I don't want the Harris Mafia coming round to the commentary box.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Oh, Goddard nipped through there. That was style. That was style. Keeley left a bit of a gap. Goddard snuck straight through. That has to be something like circuit knowledge or hometown confidence. Through goes Gobert. Still your race leader on bike 4. Still Aaron Slight in 2nd place. Well, it's going to secure his 2nd place in the championship if he stays there. Look at this. Reynolds and Goddard side by side. John Reynolds, well, I'll say it again, the Gary Lineker of road racing.
Oh.
Off track, he's ever so nice. On track, he's one tough cookie. That's a back marker that's getting toughed out there.
Yes, thankfully he keeps out of the way.
Well, certainly that's where he came from a Honda in the States, and he rode that brilliantly. He's been disappointing on the Ducati. I think I can say that without him even threatening me, because certainly he's had a very disappointing year. Mike Hale looked like he got a lot of promise, but unable to live up to it. Kaczynski getting edged out by Peter Goddard. That's good for Foggy. Well, Kaczynski, oh dear me, rub that fairing on my back wheel, why don't you? John Reynolds still right behind 51, Peter Goddard. Oh, Goddard slides through on the inside of Kaczynski. Well, stitch that little John.
Goddard is riding so well.
He is indeed, riding the wheels off the Suzuki. Hayo, I've got to say, he really has having a great second race here.
Yep.
Fourth place he's made all his own. Fogarty cannot keep with him. So Mike Hale on bike 67 is closing in on Colin Edwards on his Yamaha.
Back with the leaders.
Gobert still leading from Aaron Slight. Aaron Slight looking very, very smooth though. Onto that long left-hander into the start and finish straight. Oh, Troy Corser's back out there wheeling for the crown now. That is very sporting.
Class.
Yeah, pleased to see that.
Yeah.
He's going to do anything daft, of course.
No, he's not going to get in the way of anybody. He's far too good for that.
He's been in pit lane. He obviously had a problem after that. Seagull clouted him well and truly down into turn 1 on lap 1.
What do you call it? I'm flying a bird strike, don't you, is the aviation term?
Blue flag out.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, put the blue flag out to Troy Corser. That'll be interesting.
That will be. And I still think that Gobert is so quick around the last couple of corners. Oh, that is the world champion letting the...
Yeah, that must amuse him to watch Aaron Slight.
I wonder who's more perplexed in that trio.
Yeah, Aaron Slight must be thinking, boy, couldn't it have been race 1 it happened like that? Look at Corser riding around on one wheel, happy to be doing the business. Oh, Slight's right there with Anthony Gobert. Well, Gobert is your race leader, but if you ask me, Aaron Slight is going to be a man who definitely puts a pass on Gobert towards the end of this race.
Here he goes.
Well, I don't know why he did it then. I really don't, because all he's going to do now is give Anthony Gobert an opportunity to follow him. Not a good idea, Aaron. I wouldn't have said that was the smartest move today.
Not unless he's got loads in hand and knows he can break away or thinks he can break away.
Not a chance.
I don't think so either. Back mark are going to complicate the issue in a moment.
Blue flag being waved furiously. Through goes Slight, through goes Gobert. Number 4, Anthony Gobert. What a great year it's been, and Gobert is going to try and cap it with 2 wins on the day. Well, I just don't know what I saw then. Anthony Gobert, what a superb rider he is. He looks more, well, in control when he's out of control, doesn't he?
That was a speedway move. That was a speedway corner.
Except they've not got any brakes, of course, and he did that under braking.
Outrageous. He is awesome, that guy. He does things with a superbike that, oh, look at this, Keith, on the outside.
He's going to be down surely soon. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Anthony Gobert, well, I just don't know how he makes it work. Well, there's certainly no rivalry like a New Zealander versus an Australian, and that's exactly what we've got here. We have got pride.
We've got personal dislike as well. I think, all right, make that a long track bike. They have brakes on.
Thank you.
If you're going to nitpick.
That could be, of course, Colin Edwards.
Oh, dear.
Oh, look at this. This is getting dangerously close.
Last lap coming up, Keith. Last lap coming up.
Last left-hander now. On to the start and finish straight. Over the line. Gobert looks for it. He's in the slipstream. He's going up the outside, up the inside. Oh, on the brakes at the end. This is going to be really dangerous. Through he goes. Last lap. Gobert. Will he hold the line, or will Slight go back through? Just listen to the crowd.
They're going mad. That was a brilliant and brave move by Anthony Gobert. The last place we thought he could pass Aaron Slight on the Honda. He's out in the... Oh dear, the rubber bit to the edge of the track. Can Slight get him? Keith, I don't think he can get Gobert in this move.
The only place he can get him is if he gets that last double left-hander absolutely perfectly right and slipstreams Gobert to the line.
It is because Gobert, when he's going sideways and spinning, he's not going forward. That sounds obvious, but Slight creeps closer. But look at it drifting here.
This is the one through the left-hander. Gobert on the power, coming onto the start and finish straight. It's going to be Gobert that wins this race. He is going to cross the line first. 2 times winner at Phillip Island. Anthony Gobert takes a superb second race win. 2 wins for him in round 12. Over the line for 3rd place comes Colin Edwards. Poor Aaron Slight. loses the World Championship, and second in the championship. Well, that goes to Aaron Slight. I suppose it's some consolation. I don't think much, though.
And I'm sure I saw Mike Hale come over in a very good fourth, a fraction behind Colin Edwards. The first double win ever for Anthony Gobert. The first double win for Kawasaki since the days of Scott Russell.
Well, now he's got to scoot his bike. That's it, got it going. He had to scoot his bike because he couldn't use the clutch, so that once he got it moving fast enough, he could stick it in the bottom gear.
Good technical point.
Yeah, the bike was actually running, but he had to scoot it along so it was easy to bang it in the gear. There's Carl Fogarty and Mike Hale. Thumbs up, nice stuff. Well, the remarkable thing for me and the pleasing thing for me is we ended up with 2 cracking races here at Phillip Island, no injuries, and 5 different makes of motorcycle, all in the hunt at the end of the year. What a great Superbike year.
And doesn't that bode well for next year, Keith? We've had, I think, the classiest year in terms of the riders we've ever seen in World Superbike this year. As Gobert, what's he going to do? Spear seagulls with that?
Quite possibly, Jules, quite possibly.
Whoa,
oh, Aaron Slight. Well, at least he's in a good enough mood to do a few burnouts, because Aaron Slight, he's going to increase his number plate to a 2, which will be happy enough. A little bit of a donut there, but Gary Rothwell would have had one hand on the handlebars facing backwards.
Aaron will have a go at you.
Stoppy!
Yes!
Good Stoppy, excellent.
Rolling Stoppy, no less. What a good rider.
So, Aaron Slight, second place in the championship. Anthony Gobert, well, he was up to, I think, 9th place in the championship at one point, overhauling Neil Hodgson. Can't remember whether he was close enough to make it up to 8, but we'll find that out in the standings in just a while. Oops, that one's gone. Here comes Colin Edwards.
He should be happy, Keith, the last couple of rounds.
Well, and he's been smacked by a seagull as well, remember? So
indeed.
We don't know what kind of damage that caused him other than a bit of extra wind. There's Pete Goddard, he'll be happy. Wataru Yoshikawa comes through. Bike 6 is Simon Crafar. And Mike Hale as well.
Good ride.
Comes in. Oh, here we go. Big burnout. Do it till it goes pop, will you, Gobert? It's going to go pop if he does.
The bike or the tyre?
The tyre, indeed. Really, neither he or I care whether the bike or the tyre goes at this point in the season.
Oh, steady, Anthony.
Yeah, it's always a bit dodgy when you pull the clutch in.
Great stuff. Colin Edwards, 4 rostrums in 4 races, Spain and Australia. That bodes well for next year.
Yeah, he's back next year. Edwards on the Yamaha. Teammate might be Scott Russell. That'll be interesting.
Here we go again.
Good boy. Yeah, like that.
That's his clutch hand he's waving in the air, folks.
Yes. Oh, got to keep control. Well, no commentary necessary for this kind of hooliganism.
They love him.
What? Yeah, they love him, but Mr. Dunlop perhaps wanted that tyre back just to do a check on that at the end of the race. No chance now, I think.
Straight to the dustbin, I feel. Oh, he's being chased by the course car.
Yeah. It's the Australian police, I think.
Yes, doubtless.
After him for his new shade of hair, no doubt. So then, the fans invade the pitch. Normal. They think it's all over.
It is now, Keith.
Couldn't resist it, could we, Jules?
We couldn't. But what a brilliant way to end the season. You know how much we like this racetrack anyway. It's a wonderful, wonderful racetrack. And it looks to me as if the numbers you had were correct, Keith, that we're looking at the biggest crowd ever to attend a World Superbike meeting, bigger even than the 57,000 we got at Brands Hatch this year.
Well, certainly Mr. Flamini will be rubbing his hands together at that prospect. I think we've got a bigger crowd in pit lane than we've ever seen as well. So, as they wander to get soaked from the celebrations, Phillip Island comes to a close. What an atmosphere it's been. Smoke still from the donuts going up. The cameras are trying to capture every angle of the celebrations here. That's if they can see anybody in amongst them. Well, that's not quite a barbecue. I think it's still a Kawasaki. Oh, and yes.
Yep, the fans are there.
The fans are there, as are the riders. Where's my bike? I've lost it.
Anthony won't care. He's not going to ride it again.
No, that's true. That is certainly true.
I think the Flamini lads are taking him to the roster. You don't argue with Fantini, do you?
No, certainly not.
That way, Anthony, please.
So Anthony Gobert, for the second time, makes his way to the podium, top of the tree yet again, out of his tree later on.
And I enjoyed that disgruntled-looking Muzzy Kawasaki mechanic heading to pick up the wreckage, walking in the other direction.
Yeah, he's probably given it to his mates in the crowd, hasn't he, Anthony? You can have that, don't want it no more.
Have those carburettors.
So I can see the Dunlop man running along as fast as he can to get the Dunlop cap on Gobert's head by the time he gets to the podium. There is the head of Anthony Gobert. Shocking, but true. No, that's no wig, that's all his own. If he told me, I'd have got to match him one just for the studio.
Another change in hair colour, Keith. 2 in 1 season.
The podium awaits, so do the Australian public. What a celebration there's going to be tonight. Island Magic returns, does that say on there?
Ladies and gentlemen, what a welcome. A tremendous welcome for guys that have put on an absolutely sensational performance, not only today and the other 2 days here at Phillip Island, but over the entire Superbike World Championship season. Please welcome to the dais, third today, the Texan Colin Edwards. Have a look at his leathers. Have a look at his leathers. He's hit a seagull too. Second in the second race today was Aaron Slight. A brilliant, determined performance. But first, a brilliant, crazy first, an incredible ride from Anthony Gobert. And to present the trophies to them, David Riley, the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Tourism Victoria. Firstly to Colin Edwards. Colin Edwards, with the blood on his leathers from the seagull that broke his screen and ran into him. Aaron Slight, who said, well, at least Anthony Gobert had a front tyre left, and Anthony Gobert, a double winner today.
And here we are, Corsa then, we knew he was world champion. Slight holds on to second place, Kaczynski holds on to third, Carl Fogarty stays fourth, Colin Edwards stays fifth. The top 5 are as they were going into race 2. No change, but certainly it closed right up. Into gear go the Superbikes, we wait for the start, the green light, oh, they're keen, they are keen. Gobert got a good start there, Hodgson got a little bit up in the air, but who's it made into the first turn? Fogarty's up there as well in something like 6th or 7th place at the minute as they go down into turn 1. Dropping in. Well, I can tell you it's 2 Ducatis and a Kawasaki.
It's Gobert third. Him and Hodgson had a bit of paint exchanging off the line. It looks like Kaczynski.
Oh,
it's the same boys.
It certainly is. So Kaczynski leads from Troy Corsa, from Anthony Gobert, from Neil Hodgson there in 4th place, exactly as it was before.
Fogarty in 7th by my count.
Well, that's better than it was in race 1, that's for sure.
That's what he needed, a really good first couple of ends.
Through the curb cam they roar. And it is Kaczynski from what am I saying?
Corsa.
It's wishful thinking, isn't it, Hodgson?
Just a bit.
And the meat in the sandwich in the Kawasaki is, of course, number 4, Anthony Gobert.
Aaron Slight is well up there. He's the first of the 2 Hondas. Looks like he's in 5th place to me.
Oh, look how close it is. Gobert goes through. Gobert at the top of the corkscrew. Well, we knew it could be done up there, but we hadn't seen anybody do it today. Fogarty is 7th. There goes McCarthy. Oh, straight on there as well. Dearie me, you won't want to crash there. And Corsa's in front, is he? Oh, no, I've lost.
He's in front of Gobert.
He's in front of Gobert. I've lost Little John. Well, no, I haven't. Little John isn't there. There he is in third. He's third. So it is Corsa who leads from 4. Oh, dust there. Oh, Fogarty's out in the dirt. Carl Fogarty's throwing salt in the eyes of everybody. So leading is Corsa. Gobert is 2nd. 3rd is Kaczynski. And then in 4th place is Neil Hodgson with Slight next up.
You saw number 110, Doug Chandler, also just behind Carl Fogarty. Yep, it's 110 is that Kawasaki, Doug Chandler, the veteran American we have to call him now, a man though who has won 2 World Superbike races in his career.
No slouch at all is Doug Chandler. He is a veteran, but he's still quick and he knows his way around Laguna, and there's no doubt in that one.
Behind him, number 6, Crafar, and then it's Keeley, who's obviously out again and okay after his corkscrew crash in the first race.
Fogarty dropping back just a... Oh!
We have lost
45 Edwards. Edwards is out at the corkscrew, and he lost it on the way in there. Edwards goes into the airbag. Thank heavens for airbag. And that really is not a place to be standing around. I've got to say, Colin, I don't know why you're trying to pick that up. That bike is not going anywhere under any circumstances.
It was indeed. As we watch one stranded Ducati, we hopefully go back to the front to have a look at a Ducati or two that's going very quickly indeed.
Ramini's out. Oh, look at this. Corsa and Gobert. Well, Gobert, he had to be the tip for the top for this race, didn't he, if he can hold it together?
Well, we got 2 Australians, Keith, but what contrasting styles.
Oh, Gobert is dramatic. Did you see that, Julian? Oh, give me some more Gobert. I can handle that.
Remember Misano, that second race of the season where he did Kaczynski while travelling sideways most of the time around Misano. He sets it up fast and loose, that boy. If John Kaczynski's watching that from 3rd place still, yes he is. Look at that, how's he getting in there?
Same place as he did it last year with Corsa. Corsa, Gobert, Kaczynski, Slight, Hodgson in 5th. Fogarty is up into 6th place, so Carl Fogarty having a slightly better ride this time round, getting his head down to it, but it's Corsa who leads on bike 2. 4 is Gobert in 2nd place, but for how long? Because Gobert just doesn't wait. Gobert, well, remember what he did here to Kaczynski as he dropped down the hill. It was something outstanding. Is he going to be able to do something similar to Troy Corsa? It was just there where he did it, but Corsa's right on it as well. But Gobert is brave. He is a brave boy.
Don't come much braver, and Aaron Slight in 4th place is closing it on Kaczynski. He's got him!
Under him goes Gobert on to the start and finish straight. Anthony Gobert hits the front. Well, chaps back in the studio. Looks like I'm going to collect the money.
Oh, maybe not. Look at Corsa. He'll tough it out, will Troy as well.
He's from Wollongong.
Say no more. Kaczynski now closing in. The Aussies dicing has let Kaczynski get back up to them. That's the American in 3rd, then it's Slight, then it's Hodgson. This is real great superbike racing yet again. Has there ever been a better season than this?
That's your top 5, and just to reiterate that, there it is. Carl Fogarty is in 6th place, a little way off these boys, and he's got his own fight coming from behind him. So Fogarty, well, 6th place will be okay, I suppose, but he won't be happy about it. Aaron Slight looks to be on some kind of a mission all over the track, as if to try and keep Neil Hodgson at bay.
And also to get past Kaczynski, who looked to me to... Kaczynski up past Corsa. That's Kaczynski in 2nd place now. That is, yes, it's number 11 up to 2nd, Corsa back to 3rd.
Well, we wait to see if Corsa's got something to fight back with there, but John Kaczynski, as you quite rightly pointed out, is on the case. Fastest lap Kaczynski. So, well, that's only fractionally quicker, of course, than Gobert's fastest lap previously.
And it is...
long way off pole time.
It is well off the pole time, as you said. 1:27.1 was Gobert's in the first race.
Gobert at the top of the corkscrew, dropping down. Kaczynski in 2nd place on bike number 11. Number 2, Troy Corsa still in 3rd place. 4th is still number 3, Aaron Slight. 5th is still number 9, Neil Hodgson, having another great ride. Now the fastest lap goes to Troy Corsa. It's all fractions of a second, hundredths of a second that separate these top men. I bet all 5 of these men are circulating within hundredths each.
Yeah, they're all well within the mid-127s, for sure, Keith. Gobert still leads, though. Kaczynski edging up to him. Corsa currently fracturing the fastest man next along. Slight and Hodgson well in touch still. Oh, Keeley's gone fast. It's like 1:27.4. Isn't that typical? Isn't that typical?
So, Pier Francesco, he crashed out of race 1 now. So very, very characteristic of him. And now he puts in the fastest lap. If he was amongst this lot, you couldn't bet against him winning it.
Yeah, we don't actually... He's well downfield. He only qualified down on the 4th row, would you believe, in Pier Francesco in 14th place. They're telescoping up again, Keith. I thought there was some gaps opening up, but figment of my imagination or whatever.
Oh, and Corsa there with the front end of that bike on the move as well. There is Troy Corsa. Well, if he stays in front of Aaron Slight, of course, he'll go a few points to the head of the table. And if John Kaczynski wins this race, well, he too will be doing his cause a whole lot of good. I reckon John Kaczynski's really on his way home, look. We've seen so much of him from the onboard.
Or John Reynolds.
Oh, John Reynolds even, yes, thank you for that.
It was nearly a good joke, Keith. Nearly a good joke, but I'm afraid you ruined that one.
There it is. Oh, we're looking back at Keeley. So, Pier Francesco with a straight-looking bike for the moment at the corkscrew, and that worried everybody.
It did. We're looking back from Simon Crayfar's Kawasaki.
And it certainly looked... Oh, Corsa, another fastest lap for Troy Corsa. 1:27.393. 398 even. So, it's like a fairground ride, isn't it?
It's very worrying, that coming down off the corkscrew.
Oh!
That's Doug Chandler just been disposed of at turn 11.
So wait for Keeley to go by as well. Chandler about to be zapped by Keeley. He's going to be Keeley-fied.
Oh, wonderful stuff. He's like, hang on this. We're back at the front with Gobert and the two Ducatis. Still Anthony Gobert leads. Still John Kaczynski is second. Still number 2. Troy Corsa is in 3rd place. It looks like these three have opened up a bit of a gap while we've been playing video games with Simon Crayfar. But as you said, Keith, every time Gobert puts in another fastest lap, goes that little bit faster. Look who's shadowing him and getting closer. Still there, little John himself. Kaczynski on number 11. Then it's Corsa on number 2. To me, I'm going to agree with you again. Looks like he's just dropping back those vital yards.
Yeah, I don't think Kaczynski is, though. Kaczynski looks like a man that wants a fight with Gobert after all. I don't know whether he knows what he's about to chew off. And certainly, you can bet your life Gobert will not let him have it. There it is, the duel continues. Now it's another fastest lap, this time to Kaczynski. Gobert was the fastest man previously. And it does seem to be between these two, the battle of the fastest laps at the moment. We're on the last lap, over the line. Last lap time, the charge is on now, and it's going to be down to Gobert and Kaczynski. Kaczynski immediately closes right in.
Sideways.
Oh, John Kaczynski there. Well, anybody said that he's not going to try for it is completely wrong. Kaczynski there, but that might have just shot his bolt because
exactly
he really did slide into that turn, and he may just have lost that momentum. He needs to be with Gobert by the time they get to the top of the corkscrew. If he can make that up that hill, the Kawasaki perhaps hasn't got the same punch as the Ducati up the hill. We'll wait to see. It's getting close. The run-in is in. Kaczynski is closing in, driving up the hill now, driving all the way up the hill. Is he going to be able to get close enough to Gobert? No, I don't think so.
No, this is where Gobert's fast. The run up to the corkscrew. Kaczynski lost momentum with that sideways manoeuvre on the brakes. And look, I think Kaczynski, he's thrown the towel in. He's decided it's second.
His bike's gone.
No, I think...
Well, what do you think, Jules?
I don't think anything, Keith. I think Gobert's going to win. I don't know what's happening to Kaczynski. I really don't. I think he decided that he'd missed the point where he could get him. He knows Corsa's not within range. He's settled for second. But what a brilliant ride from this man.
Great for Australia. Gobert is going to do it, and Kaczynski has a problem with his bike. I thought he had. Gobert, though, is going to cross the line. Anthony Gobert takes the race win. He's happy. Muzzy Kawasaki are happy. But who's going to be second? Who's going to be second? Will Kaczynski go over the line? Has he gone over the line? Has got to be the question as well. Gobert, we know, has won. We wait for confirmation of second place. Will it be Kaczynski? Will it be Corsa? One thing's for sure. There it is. It's not Kaczynski. Kaczynski's not going to do it. He has gone behind Neil Hodgson. He's gone behind Mike Hale. Kaczynski is cussing, and well he might. Oh, dear me. I'd like to have a mic inside his helmet right now.
I don't think we could broadcast it.
So,
is it fuel?
Well, I've got no idea, but the bike is dead as it goes over the line. He's getting ready to scoot it the last few yards. Yes, he is happy, isn't he? Gobert, Corsa, Slight goes third.
Would you
Fogarty goes fourth. Crayfar fifth. Chandler sixth. Great ride. Green flag at the back then. We wait for the red lights to come on, and they go green very quickly indeed. John Kaczynski got an absolute flyer there. So did Corsa. John Kaczynski now up in the air. That'll give Corsa the edge surely into the first turn. Yes, it does, just. In third place is Keeley. Deja vu. He's in there again in third.
Oh, and Gobert and Crayfar pushing and shoving the green Kawasaki.
Yeah,
see?
All over the place, and Crayfar looking for a way up. Oh, sorry, that's Gobert looking for a way up the inside. But Kaczynski is now in the lead yet again. So John Kaczynski not going to muck about this time. No prisoners to be taken by the young American.
Well, the rest must not let him go. They must not chip each other up. If you look back from Colin Edwards at number 6, Simon Crafar.
Oh, look at that. Crafar just leaning up, picking his knee up off the curve out onto the fast bit of the course. They're flat out now, down the back straight into the braking area. Colin Edwards, and round the outside is looking for a place. Well, there's Neil Hodgson. So Hodgson was slight behind him. That's Aaron slight behind. What great pictures it is indeed. I've got to ask where Simon Crafar's gone. We're on board now with Wataru. This is Wataru Yoshikawa, the other cameraman. So Wataru Yoshikawa.
Bad start from him.
Oh, terrible start. I was just trying to count how many was in front. I gave up after about 10. So we're on board now with Keeley. Keeley also carries a camera. In front of him looks like Gobert. Number 4 is Anthony Gobert, but leading is Little John. John flying away at the front. Well, anyone that thought that this man's career was washed up better be thinking again.
Saw Reynolds going through behind.
Look at this.
Look at Corsa.
Well, Corsa. Oh, and look at Gobert looking for a way underneath. Gobert looking for a way underneath there. Well, Corsa was watching Kaczynski. Kaczynski was watching Corsa, but no one was watching Gobert except Keeley. And we're on with him. Oh, dear me.
Well, if we had a strung out first race, Keith, I think we're in for the real deal now.
Yeah, I can see my throat getting wrecked within about 5 laps.
And
through goes Corsa. Corsa is in front. Number 2, Troy Corsa is now back in front of John Kaczynski. John Kaczynski. Wow. That predicted dust-up that we used to see in Superbike is now here, and Julian's waving at me, and I'll bet it's about Carl Fogarty.
It is. He's picked up a place. He's done Mr. Lindholm. As we look back from Edwards at Neil Hodgson, wrestling his Works Ducati about.
With Aaron Slight right behind him on bike number 3. Still Slight is behind. That is Hodgson. We're looking at the young and beautiful Neil Hodgson.
I'm worrying about you and him. I really am.
I worry about him.
Again, a great shot from the back of Colin Edwards' Yamaha. As you see him dive into the corner, the gap stretches a little. Watch that Ducati number 9 punch out of the corner. Still Corsa leads. And you're right, Keith, this field is not stretching out. Look at this quartet.
It's a quartet battling for this place. Well, fastest lap 1:35. That's a long way off what he did in race 1 at the moment. So we can expect him to go up a bit more, but Kaczynski goes through. Kaczynski's through. Oh, look at Gobert. Gobert was unbelievable. He got the front end crossed up, the rear end crossed up, and goes through into 2nd place. So Troy Corsa goes back now to 3rd place, sorry. 4th is still Keeley.
Now then, Little John's going to find out all about the rough and tumble of Superbike when Anthony Gobert gets his hands on him.
Let's hope it's not the tumble of Superbike, because Gobert, well, I've got to say, I can't remember when he took anybody out last time, but certainly he's been up the dirt himself a few times. Kaczynski then. Will this Kawasaki be quick down this back straight? That's the question. 4-cylinder versus 2-cylinder now. On the back straight, it is quick. Muzzy's Kawasaki's have always been fast. But look at the brakes into the left-hander. Gobert, he overdoes it by a yard and then just manages to pull it back. And out wide is Corsa, so Corsa's struggling with it as well, Julian.
Looks like Gobert is normal, out-of-control self, sliding everywhere. It's wonderful. No one beats him on the brakes, do they?
Out of control, I think, by most people's standards, but not by his. He does it lap on lap every race.
Spot the ex-motocrosser. He likes the bike set up dead stiff at the front, dead springy at the back end to facilitate this sort of behaviour. Which is unusual, to put it mildly.
Facilitate this behaviour, yeah.
I thought I'd go into legalese on the grounds. It seems appropriate in Anthony's case. I will remind you that only one man has ever won a race here on anything other than a Ducati, and all the time a Superbike race has been won at Misano. That's Scott Russell in '94.
And what did he win it on?
A Kawasaki.
Absolutely.
Just to underline how well Anthony Gobert is doing. Don't forget, this is the San Marino round. We're, 100 miles down the motorway from Bologna.
You've got to keep with Gobert. Gobert is so fast through these 3 left-handers onto this back straight. He is absolutely right on the pipe. Look at that. 134.78. That's still slower than the race 1. It was 134.2 something by Kaczynski. But Gobert, he has got that Little John in front of him between his teeth, and he's going to bite his head off, I'm sure of it. Gobert then out to nail Kaczynski one way or another.
He is so brave, Anthony Gobert. Number 4, the Australian. Spot the ex-supercrosser. He rides a road racer like it's a supercrosser. This is what Superbikes is all about. This is the guy that told us he'd cleaned his act up over winter, Keith.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Perhaps it was something else. Riding style, though, looks exactly the same to me. Aggressive, fast, and right with John Kaczynski. Oh, dearie me, and again with everything on the move. You really think he's going to pin it at any moment, don't you, John? I'm talking about Anthony Gobert, of course. Back on board with Pier Francesco. And that in front of him is number 2, Troy Corsa. Despite the change of setup and the change of tyres, it remains to be seen whether Corsa can get on on the top of Kaczynski this race round. It certainly looks to me like he's given him a bit of a breather.
Well, it looks to me as if Gobert is trying everything he can, and he's just really not been able to show Kaczynski even a front wheel in a corner yet, Keith.
Well,
he's riding the wheels off it, and he can't make an impression.
Well, let's let Kaczynski do all the work at the front, shall we, and drag the rest round and see what happens in the closing stages, because if these guys are with him by the end of this race, someone surely is going to rub some paintwork off on the red bike.
You're not wrong, as we look at a lovely close-up of number 4, Anthony Gobert.
And he's through! He's through! Incredible stuff! Look at this!
Ooh.
Round the outside again on those fastest 3 corners. We missed that, but it was incredible. Look at Corsa. Corsa went round the outside of all of them while they were messing around with each other. But Gobert on the brakes, up the inside. What a Superbike race. Welcome back to World Superbikes 1996 style. If John Kaczynski thought he could have it all his own way in race 2, he was wrong.
Frankie alert! Here comes Frankie as well in 4th place, looking to get back on Kaczynski. We're on board with Keeley. That's Kaczynski, who just saw a glance over his shoulder from the unaccustomed 3rd place.
Well, we'll wait to see whether he's got that bit of fight back in him. Oh, Keeley is so close with Kaczynski. He's riding on the back of him. But it's Gobert now at the front. He has the fastest lap. He has the number 1 position. He also has 3 desperate men behind him. Well, this little quartet are having one big bundle.
They are. They've held station for the last couple of laps. Maybe they are trying to conserve tyres or just take a breather. I don't know. You can't take a breather in Superbike racing. Utterly the wrong thing to say. But there's a bit more subtleness going on here, and a bit more subtlety, more fencing than GBH taking
Well,
place.
OK, I'll stick my neck out as I usually do and read it the way that I read it. I think that Gobert and Corsa might be playing the subtlety job. I think that Kaczynski has it well in hand at the moment. He's quite happy to be sitting there in 3rd. I think everyone else is going just about flat out. But I think we're going to see more from Kaczynski. Well, he knows he's got a fight on his hands this time. So conservation will be the order of the day till the last 5 laps.
Right, Keith, and the pace that the race is being run at would agree with that theory, I have to say. Here's Hodgson in front of Craybar in 5th. Then it's Slight. There's Foggy.
Foggy closing, no doubt about that.
Edwards behind him.
So Colin Edwards on the Yamaha.
And Carl and Edwards are not best of friends.
No, I love what Colin Edwards, though. I've got to like what he says. He is always amusing. There is Aaron Slight. He won't be amused if Foggy catches him. Still Gobert, still Corsa. Kaczynski looking up the inside. There's 9, Hodgson 6. Is Crayfar 3, is Slight, and Slight is closing in, no doubt about that. So Aaron Slight, well, change of hairstyle. No change in style on the bike, though. Still as quick as ever. I
don't know how serious Kaczynski's challenge at the last left-hander was, but Corsa has repulsed it. Keeley's caught up with him again. They're telescoping together. Troy looks over his shoulder. Don't often see that from him. Gobert still leads.
Oh, look at that. Joined together, these guys. Absolutely joined together. Little wheelies at the same time from Corsa and Kaczynski. Keeley watching brief for him in 4th place at the moment. What a good race this is. Well, remember also that John Kaczynski had the biggest get-off he's had this year on a Superbike here at Misano in testing earlier on. There's the Dunlop technicians checking out what's going on with their man in front. Of course, that is number 4, Anthony Gobert, and Kaczynski sliding up the inside of Corsa. Kaczynski then, has he decided to make a move at last? If he does, it'll happen very, very quickly, because he will suddenly just blast off if he's got it in him to do it. I can't imagine why else he would have wanted to make a move past Corsa other than to get away from the Francesco Keeley. It's probably
that's an incentive.
But I've got to say, if you're going to put money on these two, the one that's sticking the most seems to be Kaczynski rather than Gobert.
You're
I
not
don't know. If it wasn't Gobert, I'd say he was definitely in for being passed, at least within the next few laps. Here we go, round the outside then, which makes him up the inside when he comes down into this left-hander at the end of the back straight. Kaczynski hits the front. John Kaczynski then hits the front. Gobert runs wide, gets the power on real hard, cuts it tight on the way out of that turn. Well, is Gobert going to have to go straight back?
He's very unorthodox, is Anthony Gobert, and we're going to see now just what he can do with the Kawasaki and the Dunlops. We saw on that last rear angle shot at the start of last lap how he was using much more track than Kaczynski, out far wider. Will we see it again this lap?
Watch for the fastest lap caption coming up for John Kaczynski. He will now put in a couple of absolute blitzing laps. Little wheelie there from the Kawasaki, out onto the start and finish straight.
And mark our words, Anthony Gobert will not be shy of that sort of tactic. Kaczynski, ex-world champion or not, young Anthony is 21 years old. Basically, he doesn't care. If he thinks he can push past, he will push past. As we look at Carl Fogarty in, we think, 8th place or 7th, Keith?
I think it's certainly 8th place. I don't think 7th at this point in time. It depends on what's happened to Neil Hodgson. I've not got him here.
Right you are. The start of the world champion, the bruised and battered world champion, after that horrendous high-side crash in the right-hander in qualifying yesterday. Fourth lap it was of the session. It bounced him hard. He didn't manage to...
He got it out on the curb there. Trying to get as wide a line as he can, and Gobert, as Julian jumps off his chair to shout, is in front. Anthony Gobert has gone for it again, as we look back to find what's going on. But Gobert is in front of John Kosinski. Here's Kosinski. He's now second. Gobert leads. Korza still third. Well, Korza...
Oh, Anthony.
What Gobert has to do to get himself there as well. Well, of course, Anthony Gobert will be a completely new name as far as John Kosinski is concerned.
And John is probably wishing at the moment he'd never heard of the bloke, I think. And look at Corsa in third place. The bloke I thought 2 laps ago, I thought, well, he's dropping off, he's struggling too hard, he's right in the Kosinski wheel tracks, where you said he should be.
He is right in the Kosinski wheel tracks, but that was before Gobert went past the both of them. So, will Gobert hang on to this? He certainly looks to me like he's having to ride 110% to actually stay where he is. I mean, really, he is working harder than anybody else out there at the moment.
I mean, when it's the head ruling the heart, you've got to say, now, here's the pass, I think.
Let's have a look at this, and this is where Gobert, I said this is where he'd do it, but I thought later on in the race. Now, that looks to me, well, you would have said almost that Kosinski was in the wrong gear, because he pulled round the outside of him in those fast, flat-out 3 left-handers onto the back straight. Gobert's been quick there all week, and that just proves it.
Anthony Gobert, wheels in line for once.
Only just, and for a short period. Gobert then on to Muzzy Kawasaki. Well, Muzzy, controversial team in some circumstances. I'm sure Terry Rymer back in the studio would love to comment on that, but short of a libel writ probably won't.
We'll just say that Terry served a sentence of 1 year.
He did, under Monsieur Muzzy, and joining, of course, the wonderful Scott Russell in the team at that time. But it even became too much for Scott Russell. Yeah, he went Grand Prix racing.
Kosinski getting a bit of a sit up there. Yeah, Terry's still good friends with Scott Russell. But Scott's going to be buying a house near Terry soon in south of England. Now then,
I'm glad you didn't say he was buying one off him, because that would worry me really. Back in pit lane, as we check out the monitors.
Still Gobert leads. Where's Kosinski? Closing in round the right-hander.
I think he's been there for some time. Only 4 laps left to go. Well, I lost track of this indeed. Only 4 laps left to go. That is incredible.
Does that alter your analysis at all?
Very slightly, because Gobert is every single bit as much on the pace as he was in the first part of this race. Those tyres haven't gone off at all through these 3 left-handers. I keep saying it. It's boring, really. But, of course, Gobert finds a grip through these 3 left-handers that no one else seems to have. It's either grip or something to do with...
Yes, indeed. I think we'll gloss over that one, Keith. Bravery, bravura.
That's the one. Something beginning with B. I knew it was something like that.
Sheer guts, I think I've got to say. Absolute courage. And then again, at 21 years old, as your fondest thing, he doesn't know any better.
Well, I've got to say, 21 is the, shall we say, 4 years short of the common sense area in road racing terms.
I'll just check how old Troy Corser is.
Well, Corser's 24, actually, so he's coming up to the common sense area.
Indeed.
Which hits you about, I think, 28. But there again, Cole Fogarty managed to get through it without thinking of any.
John Kosinski is only 28.
28
he seems
still,
to have been with us forever, Keith.
He has. I mean, it's because he has been so good so long ago. I mean, that's the thing with John Kosinski.
World 250 champion 1990.
As long ago as. And, well... a legend, I think we can say, John Kosinski. Yeah. Definitely one of those men that comes into...
Keith, Kosinski's got the red mist down. He really is riding the wheels off that again.
That looked like he was taking a tear off visor off there. I didn't get to see that again, but certainly there was some signalling going on. Either that or he was just grabbing up to his helmet to pull off the strip across the front of his visor to clear his visor for the last 3 laps of this race.
Just under 3 laps to go. Still number 4, Gobert leads. Number 11, Kosinski. Playing a waiting game. Number 2 in third place, Troy Corser.
And Gobert looking so very good in the closing stages of this race. Well, this is where he always does. But when you get through the few... Oh, and again, Kosinski sitting up. Well, could it be that Kosinski has the tyre problems that afflicted everyone in race 1? Because certainly John Kosinski does not yet seem to be able to do anything with it. Gobert, he closes in on him here, which he does every lap. But Gobert has a big enough gap on him by the end of the straight to be able to hold him off on the brakes.
Watch Corser.
Well, I am. actually, and Corsa, I said earlier on, if he runs a real mature, smooth race and holds onto those tyres, it's going to be a last couple of lap dash for Corsa. Here they are, close right in again now on Gobert. Gobert, Kaczynski, Corsa.
Still, Keeley is in fourth place, but hasn't been in touch with this lot for a very long time. Radically different entry lines to the chicane there from first and second, and it's Gobert who takes an advantage out of the Ducatis there again.
Just here is the place. It's Gobert's part of the course. We're going to call it Gobert Bends, I think. And again, through this left-hander, through the right-hander leading in where Fogarty crashed, and then through the left-handers. It is just superb what he does there.
And still, Troy Corsa in third place looks the smoothest, most in control guy out there. But he always does.
I was on completely the wrong bit of the course then, Julian. You might have noted. I'm sure you didn't. You were going to get across me. This is the bit where Gobert really is superbly good through this double right. Up 2 laps to go as well. Only 2 laps left to go. Through this left-hander now. It's going to be Gobert who really winds it up through these 3 lefts. Watch for Gobert. This is where, if you remember in race 1, this little man, Kaczynski, got underneath Corsa, but look at the Kawasaki pull away. He's got the grip, and he's certainly got the bravery to do it. Through these second left, third left, out onto the back straight. Gobert has a lead. Kaczynski's going to be making a pass soon, though. Round the outside does he go? Is he going to drop it over Gobert?
No.
Only if he really does try hard. Well, I think that was certainly fires the warning of what might happen on the last lap of this race.
It had the air of rehearsal about it, didn't it?
Kaczynski wants the double, Gobert wants the win.
And Troy Corsa, the man I keep worrying about in third place, well, maybe he hasn't got the ammo left to shoot it out with Anthony Gobert, the Aussie, John Kaczynski, the American, Kawasaki versus Ducati in the San Marino round at Misano. A wonderful, wonderful second race, as exciting as the first race was maybe predictable at this stage.
Oh, and he's got it sideways again into the left-hander. Gobert is superb, and he's a little bit wide then. Gobert just ran a little bit wide, but he does it every time. Then cuts it tight, gets the power of the Kawasaki down on the ground. Big Darky down on the deck. Corsa can only look on. He must be amazed.
And this time round, we will go over the line for the last lap.
Last lap time then. Gobert leads on bike 4. Kaczynski takes a look over his shoulder to see where Corsa is, to see that he doesn't get caught napping, and he well might yet. But it's Gobert. Now, Gobert has to get these 2 right-handers dead right. And then it's the left-hander after here into the braking area.
And it was Kaczynski's Ducati that was squirming there, not the Kawasaki.
That's good as far as Gobert's concerned. That was where Kaczynski was quickest. Now, this is where Gobert has got to get it absolutely right through here. He winds the wick up, down onto the back straight. He's dragging Kaczynski out. Kaczynski really must be closer than this if he's going to get a pass on him at the end of the straight. Well, it's going to be Gobert's race. I think if Kaczynski's not by the end, he's nowhere near close enough. Here, Gobert then, don't make a mistake, Anthony, and this could be yours. Anthony Gobert, the bike was moving all the way then.
He's had 3 wins in World Superbike. This will be his 4th, and it will be by far the most impressive this young man has ever achieved. A wonderful, wonderful display of aggression and machine control from the Aussie.
Gobert then with his rear wheel up in the air. He's got a little way to go now. It's going to be Anthony Gobert that's going to win this race. There's no doubt about it, and barring a mistake, Gobert then makes the front of the Kawasaki move into the chicane, through the chicane. Gobert then on the last lap. It's just a few hundred yards left to go. Gobert is going for it. Is Kaczynski going to manage to get on it? I don't think so. Yellow flag being waved. That means that no one can pass anybody. And as if they were going to get a chance. Gobert just a short distance through the right-hander and then down onto the start-finish straight. Anthony Gobert is going to take a win today, and John Kaczynski is shoved into second place with the wheelie in Corsa stood up on a foot peg for third place. What a great second race of the day, and that is Superbike racing. Race 1 was just a warm-up. John Kaczynski knows he's been beaten fair and square. He'll be well happy with the points today, but it's Anthony Gobert in the second race, and that's a Kawasaki well out there. I didn't quite get who it was. Here's Carl Fogarty. So Carl Fogarty comes over the line now. Wheelie from Carl. Is he happy? No, he's not. He's just taking the business points. That's all. Well done, Carl. It's been a great day of work. And you can go and have a rest now till Donington.
He's beaten Colin Edwards, though, which will please him enormously. And that's Mike Hale as well behind Carl, and Von Tempe and Lindholm. So even though Carl wasn't running with the... There's Neil Hodgson coming in way down.
California and Laguna Seca, and the return of Anthony Gobert, the Antichrist as far as World Superbikes are concerned, is back and absolutely flying. Watch out for Gobert on the Martin Hines bike along with Ben Bostrom. We know about him around Laguna. He's gone good. down through turn 1 into turn 2 then. It's Akira Yanagawa that leads, and that looks pretty much like Gobert to me. That's in second place.
It looks like him to me as well, Keith. Off second on the grid. Ooh. The Go Show goes second. We're on board with Frankie, I think, with Carl in front of him.
Yeah, Carl Fogarty, well, he hates this place. He hates Laguna Seca.
He hated Pisano.
Indeed, and he had a double there, so that bodes very well for here indeed. Well, I think it is absolutely poetic justice that the man that leads this race, Akira Yanagawa, who had that massive crash here last year, so somewhere there is a God, and he's looking down on Akira, hopefully, this week.
We all hope that. He said he was a bit worried going into the corkscrew for the first time in qualifying.
Ooh, and if only because Anthony Gobert's breathing all over him. Ben Bostrom's there too. Wow, I'll tell you what. This is going to be a very interesting race indeed. Look at Gobert up and over the hill into the corkscrew. Oh, no messing there. Anthony Gobert goes through. The young Australian, he is still young, has gone through on Akira Yanagawa. Well, he was so fast in qualifying. And you've got to say, that he's... Oh, who's that out wide?
Eric Bostrom on the Honda.
Was it Eric Bostrom? I got it down. I thought that was Ben Bostrom that was there.
It was the other Bostrom.
It was Brother Bostrom then. Down to the hairpin. It is 95, Anthony Gobert from Akira Yanagawa. And is that still 90?
90 is Ben Bostrom.
Indeed, that's Ben Bostrom on the Ducati, not on the Honda.
What?
That looks like, well, it's definitely a Kawasaki off to one side.
Alban Gureshi?
That's Gureshi bailing over now.
Oops, too fast.
Yes, can't get up at 40 miles an hour. Wait for a few more seconds. Back on board with Keeley. Oh, bit of break up under the bridge. We're looking forward at one of the Hondas. Looks remarkable. Oh, dear me, we're not just looking forward at it, we're just about going past Aaron Slight. So up towards the corkscrew. What a frightening sight that is. On board camera work telling you what it's like at the top of the corkscrew. Into the left hand and then dropping off the edge of the world and coming downhill. Believe me, it looks flat there when you're on the bike. If you have to walk back up that hill, it makes you puff, especially if you're Julian.
It's quite like Keith. 45-degree slope there. Akira Yanagawa number 4.
In front of
Ben Bostrom with the Evil Knievel crash up design. That's cool. But they're all behind the Go Show.
Yeah, the Go Show is on show. It is Anthony Gobert that leads. This is Colin Edwards.
Colin Edwards.
Well, no, the Texan not happy in California. Mind you, I suppose that fits, doesn't it?
And also, he's a Michelin runner, and it does seem as Peter Goddard walks again.
Dear me. So, Pete Goddard, well, he has been off a few times trying this year, that's for sure. He's a tough Australian.
He's getting on a bit, though, for all that beating up, isn't he?
You can tell him that.
Not from this distance. Anthony Gobert.
I would have thought it was favourite from this distance. This close-up, you've got to worry. Here's Gobert.
On Dunlops on the Vance and Hines.
And it works around here at Laguna. That's what Akira Yanagawa's on. And oh, my dear, Noriyuki Haga, don't talk to him yet. He's probably not calmed down.
Another Michelin runner walking home.
While we look forward from Keeley at Corsa. Ah, Keeley's making some progress here, isn't he, today?
Another Dunlop runner, Keith. I get the impression that this is going to bring smiles to Birmingham.
Well, there's a couple of tracks that work real well. Donington being one of them. Laguna is another one. Worked good on Dunlop tyres. Oh, he's right there with Corsa. So Corsa is second in the championship. We're on the last lap. That is Akira Yanagawa and Ben Bostrom. Well, if Ben Bostrom can get past Akira Yanagawa in the same place that Anthony Gobert did, which is just here at the top of the hill, it will be a 1-2 for Vance and Hines, and he's done it.
Oh, brilliant.
And there is very little place to come back after that as well. So Anthony Gobert is going to win this race, barring a major mistake. Ben Bostrom, barring an Akira Yanagawa move, is going to be in second place. That will mean that the Vance and Hines Ducati team, they are going to be first and second in this race, and it gets no better than that. Well, they have full work support from the Ducati factory, but they are a private team, and Gobert has taken the first race win here in California, and in second place was Ben Bostrom. It comes no better. Gobert confirmed then as the winner from Bostrom in second place, just getting the better of Akira Yanagawa, with Colin Edwards, the Texan, in fourth place. Slightly out of place here, perhaps. Race 2, Keeley, we are looking at. Keeley made the most progress throughout race 1. Can he do a better start here in race 2 and perhaps apply the pressure early on? Green light, and Akira gets another flyer.
Gobert rolling craftily at the start as well.
You'd have expected that.
Absolutely, the Go Show.
Yeah, but look at Akira Yanagawa out of that. Well, really, he doesn't want to have anybody near him at the corkscrew, does he? Memories of last year. Akira just wants to get out in front on his own. But look at all the Ducatis behind him.
Like Actually, 91 was the Honda in red. That's the American Honda.
Yeah, had me fooled again. It's the other Bostrom. There he is, 91. That's the Honda. Well, was the Honda as the Suzuki passed. Who was that out on the left-hand lane?
I don't know, but he's gone on a very funny line.
Yeah, I think he's gone back to the car park. Whoever it was, under the bridge.
Well, we said a couple of years ago Akira Yanagawa couldn't start. He appears to have cured that habit.
Well, it must be the Californian sun. We are just a few miles up the road from Monterey. It is Akira Yanagawa that leads from... Yes, it is Anthony Gobert. I had to double check. Ben Bostrom in third place at the moment.
Well, how often do you see the local men do that?
Well, here, actually. Yvonne de Hamel on the Hondas, the Smoking Joe Hondas, if you remember.
Along with Mike Hale,
Mike Hale, indeed. Well, he based a whole career of Grand Prix racing on that and has never done anything since. Oh, that's cruel, isn't it?
It is a bit for the one of the greatest dirt tracks. I've said Gobert goes for the lead.
Yeah, Gobert goes for the lead, but it's Keeley I was watching back in 4th and 5th place, so Keeley might have come through as well. Keep an eye, here he is, he's right there, look. I'm keeping my odds covered there with 4th and 5th place because I didn't know which one he was in. He's actually in 4th place at the moment. He's chasing Ben Bostrom. Oh, that's one of the local Yamaha men that are out of this, well, back in this race now. Oh, look at this at the front, a 5-way scrap for the lead. This really is going to be a great race here at Laguna. I do take that as being Akira just there somehow.
I think you're right, Keith. We're on the outside of Akira with Frank Keeley.
Keeley looking for a way as we scream under the Dunlop Bridge appropriately. It's the two Vance and Hines Ducatis that lead this race again, and some of the regular guys are somewhat subdued. Well, I suppose they could wipe each other out, and that would give the regular World Superbike guys might even give Keeley a win.
The fact that Keeley's in 3rd place here on the Suzuki.
He's not. He's going to be 2nd. Underneath Ben Bostrom. Take that. So Anthony Gobert leads this race. Well, the two Vance and Hines boys might have thought they had it relatively easy in race 1, but I don't think Gobert's going to have it so easy in race 2.
Your flip remark about a win for Keeley is not so much a flip remark as a prediction. We look back to Carl Fogarty.
Yes, all out on his own at the corkscrew now, so Fogarty really just gaining the odd point towards his World Championship tally here.
That's his normal Laguna operation.
He's going to be happy with that. Anthony Gobert, I can't wait to hear what he's got to say after this race because he's always outrageous in the mouth department.
Just a little bit.
Or he was. He might have changed. Who knows? In America, he's had a bit of grooming over there for a while. Into the hairpin, and the front's gone, and down he goes. The front, he held it for an eternity. He rolls over. That is the end of Anthony Gobert's game. Off he goes. The marshals look on. The Americans are silenced here as far as the team is concerned.
On to Australia, and only the locals can predict the weather at the island, but it didn't need a weatherman to know that it would be wet. The question was, how wet, and which tyres to gamble on. Another downpour just before race 1 left everyone scrambling, and allowed local hero Anthony Gobert on the Moto to come through.
Gobert there in 2nd place, number 501. Gobert goes around the outside. He'll be on the inside as they come down to the slope. Right-hander, so Gobert now leads this race.
Corsa, like everyone else, couldn't live with Gobert on this day.
And he's starting to lap harder. That is quite incredible. Number 501, Anthony Gobert, is lapping the World Championship joint leader. The Go Show has come to town, and Gobert wins race 1 at Phillip Island, his first since 1996.
One of the most bizarre wins ever in World Superbikes, Gobert had given Moto a win on only their 2nd race back to racing, in a year when they hardly expected to finish races at all. In the hands of the gifted Gobert, anything was possible, especially in the rain, for a new era for Anthony.
I've been very fortunate at Virginio Ferrari with the promoter team. You know, he's put a lot of time, a lot of confidence in me to give me this opportunity to ride for him, and I do feel that I have wasted my talent a bit. I do feel that I am fortunate enough to be blessed with the talent that I do have, and you know, I normally do prepare myself and train pretty hard, but I've sort of partied equally as hard, you know. So I have won some races, but it hasn't really, come to a championship. So now I'm about trying to be a bit more serious and trying to be more about the long run of the championship.